All right, everybody, welcome to Zoning Out Podcast presented by the Comedy Zone. And we are back in the...
That's pretty much the title.
Yeah. Zoning Out Podcast presented by the Comedy Zone. Yeah.
Zoning Out presented by the Comedy Zone. Podcast isn't in the title.
Jonathan, I wish we could revoke your degree. Like, what? That's the hang up. Okay, man.
Yeah, look at him sitting over there all smug.
I'm glad
laughing
you
at
enjoyed
us.
that.
Yeah.
Smug isn't the word.
Yeah.
Smug it's worse than smug.
Yeah.
It's self-amused.
You deserve
is what
allergies.
It is.
Yeah,
That's
you do.
fine. I kind of am like allergies are kind of like that's like a white thing. Allergies, I feel like. Is that right? Is that I don't know. I just think it is.
As a person who's not racist,
I think of white people as having
know.
allergies and other people.
You
as
do look
not
like
having
you grew
allergies.
up having allergies.
But you know what's funny though?
true,
You know what's funny
yeah.
though? I didn't.
No?
It's a recent thing for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
I do. Yeah. But you're right. I look like classic white dude in general.
like sniveling is what I was going to
a
say.
sniveling
Yeah.
little Draco.
Yeah. I feel like you groveled at some
Yeah,
point.
you're-
Wait,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
Groveled. Like, it's like begging, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely groveled. Mostly people I'm dating. It's
Yeah,
mostly-
exactly. But no, it feels good to be back here where we typically record.
Yeah, it's
you
nice.
know, the Madison Square Garden of Charlotte.
It's been a minute. This is it.
Takes us out.
This is the MSG.
Yeah.
I like
This
that.
is the mothership.
And man, I gotta say, there's a lot that's been going on.
a lot been going on.
People.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you were just talking about white things, and speaking of white things,
Jonathan's favorite
as
thing.
is my want.
there is a new.
God damn.
Are you
dude.
mad that I said want
A
with an
little
O? Yeah.
Oh, that's
anyway,
what you
go
meant.
ahead.
There's a new Kanye West interview that's been released.
That I have not seen.
With DJ Academics.
Oh, that
Everybody.
all right. Those two shouldn't be allowed to speak to each other.
You know what?
that's
You're right.
That's a bad combo of people.
You're right, but man, it created a moment.
Yeah, no, I'm
And
sure it did.
For people that are listening, they haven't seen the interview. I have, so they
Yeah, I
have no
haven't seen it
idea what I'm about to show them.
No
right
one is
now.
surprised that I haven't seen the interview.
Kanye West put on a
That's true.
special outfit for this interview.
Is it
And I want you
the
to
outfit
react.
that is? Oh my God!
Oh, come on.
No,
it?
no.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? That's
I'm
real?
not kidding. That's real.
That's not AI.
That's real. That's not AI.
That is
Everybody,
a full-on-
If you're not familiar,
Clan robe,
Yes.
but it's black instead of white.
Kanye put on a KKK
Oh, man.
outfit, black leather. Actually, it was customized because it's Kanye. It has
Who made it for him?
he has a
Black
flair
leather?
for fashion. It's black leather.
Oh, my
But
God.
He said he has a white leather one too, but it wasn't like ready in time or
But
something
did
like
he-
that.
Okay,
Is he an open micer just wanting to do?
Yeah, just
Kanye
an
is
edgelord.
an
You're
open
right.
micer.
He's a
Like,
total just edgelord.
you know what I'm going to do this week? Hitler
Yeah.
stuff.
It's-
Next week will be KKK
All right,
shit. It's like,
so
good
here's-
Lord.
A couple questions.
Uh-huh.
One is I know that from movies, I've never been to a thing, but I know that just be clear. But I know that there's the white one, right?
Yes.
KKK, but then there's other ones too.
That is true,
within
yeah.
the hierarchy or whatever.
Yeah.
Is there a black one in the KKK? You know what? Do we know? Do y'all happen to-
I've never seen one in the movies. Again,
Yeah.
like
You know what?
I
There might be-
I do sound like I was trying to cover for something
Yeah.
bad I've done.
It
I was like,
does.
it was in a movie. Let me be but
Yeah, go ahead. Google it,
Yeah,
Jason.
I'm-
Google it.
oh shit! Wait, hang on. Nah,
Where can I find
delete that. Yeah, you almost got me. You guys almost got me on there. I'm not putting on that.
Well, so
on my
okay, so
computer.
we
Love
are
setting
not
y'all up.
we are not current. As of now, we're not gonna. We don't have a comfortable way to figure out whether or not
Yeah.
a black robe is a thing.
I'm
in
not
the
quite
KKK.
sure. I'm pretty sure there is a red one. I think that's
yeah,
like
that's
the
like
Grand
red
Wizard.
and white.
Grand
Yeah, they look a
dragons,
lot
wizards.
like. I've seen a lot of like church guys have similar outfits on. I don't know if there's a black one in church. Is there?
Like a robe. In
Like a
general
robe,
that they
not
wear?
just like the plain.
Oh,
black
I
one.
was like, what are you talking? Okay.
Oh, I'm saying exactly what you're
No. I got
worried
you.
about
I got
me
you. I just wasn't.
They look the same to me. I
Yeah,
don't know.
they. That's true.
But I don't ever remember. Outside of just black with a white collar, there's no, and they're not leather.
By the way, the KKK is super dweeby. they're wizards and dragons.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up, you dorks. They're dorks,
Now that you
dude.
say it
They
sounds
are
like
playing
something.
like
Go ahead.
It sounds like something that I should be a fan of, but not at all. That's terrible.
Okay. Now we're doing it.
You know I love Harry Potter and magic
So-
and shit.
So
KKK,
Jason is-
D&D. What's
Yeah.
really
They're
the
both
difference?
2 letters and an ampersand or 3
Wasn't
letters.
that like the last season of Stranger Things? They were like, they was satanic and it was D&D. Like, it's all the same shit.
No, I never saw Stranger Things, so I don't know.
Was that what happened in the last season?
Yeah, remember they wanted to get the one guy because he was part of
that's
the.
right. That's right.
Yeah, I forget their thing.
Yeah. Rock and roll is bad music.
Yeah, right.
And all of it.
Yes.
Yeah, yep.
Now, I guess I gotta walk y'all through this.
Yeah, help us out,
interview.
'cause what the
so,
fuck?
Kanye West,
The Dungeon
Put-
Master, I assume.
the Dungeon Master,
Yeah.
Who
yeah.
has been talking about Nazi shit recently?
he has,
Yeah.
he has.
It's not
Yeah,
a
right.
total departure.
So okay, yes,
Yeah.
right. So
Okay.
it's no surprise that Kanye West has a KKK outfit. Okay,
well,
fine.
slow down.
There's no
That
surprise.
he
Are you
has-
surprised?
I'm not like, okay, I wouldn't have assumed that he owns a KKK outfit. However, it's not mind-boggling in the context. Go ahead, sorry.
Sure, but here's the thing: DJ Academics, he pretty much got like short notice that he was getting this interview.
Yeah.
Like, so DJ
Right.
Academics kind of cut the camera on in the car on the way to the interview. So this is like one straight recorded thing.
so
There's
you-
no cuts. There's no like, it's one
Wow.
long just recorded thing. And I say that to say, Kanye West did not open the door in that KKK outfit. Kanye West opened the door in a black T-shirt and jeans, and then went to the other room to put this KKK outfit on. Or actually might have done it in the same
Well-
room. He specifically put this on for the interview. Like he wanted.
Yeah,
Not-
he's an edgelord, man. That
not-
guy's just trying to raise pulses. That's all he's doing.
Not to defend Kanye, but I do understand the strategy there, which is
It takes
he's
away.
going to open the door. He's going to open the door.
Like it's
and
Halloween.
DJ Academics is going to open the door, and then it's going to be someone in a Klan outfit. Like,
I don't, so
What
wait,
the
are you
fuck?
saying Kanye was trying to make somebody comfortable?
I guess, or trying to like lure him in to comfort, and then like it's no, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Okay, why didn't he have it on then?
Because it's
You
a
know what I mean?
stunt. It's a total stunt.
Well, of course
I'm
it's a
not going to
stunt,
give
but-
Kanye any credit. I refuse to give him credit
Oh, I'm
anymore
not giving.
for shit.
No, I'm not actually giving him credit at all. I'm saying like what like it would be wild if DJ Academics literally opened the door and then just there that was. You know,
It would be
very
would he
funny to
walk
see
in?
that.
For
He might not come in. Is what I'm saying.
oh no, DJ Academics would
He
definitely.
was letting him
might,
in.
yeah, DJ Academics might.
Because at the end of the interview, Kanye gave him like a White Lives Matter shirt, and Academics just took it. If you could just see like Academics' facial expressions throughout this whole interview, it is some of the most hilarious.
Is it?
Like
The fact
Oh
that he
my
wasn't
gosh.
like, "Hey, I'm not going to do this if you're wearing that," you know,
Right.
Like, I'd be like, "I'm out." I mean, I guess he kind of
So,
knew what he was getting into.
Actually,
but-
let's think about that strategically. I mean, would he have gained any like points, followers, if DJ Academics was like, "Nah, man, I'm not doing that"?
would Academics have
Yeah.
gained any followers?
Or do you think it would have been just a Kanye story? You know what I mean?
I
see what
don't-
you're saying.
I think Academics has such a strong fan base already. I don't think him turning down the interview would have hurt anything.
Yeah.
I don't
Do you
necessarily.
think it would have helped him? Do you think it would have given him like?
No.
Because someone like me, I'm not a big DJ Academics fan.
Yeah.
I mean, if he had turned that down, I would have been like, cool.
Yeah.
Probably good.
Yeah,
Some-
exactly.
yeah.
But that's what, I would say his fan base probably leans a little more on the edgelord side,
Yeah, I
like
think you're right.
slightly.
Yeah.
So I feel like if anything, he might have gotten a little pushback from turning down the interview over that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
If he had.
as insane as that sounds,
That is crazy.
saying that a black man
what
turned it
world?
down.
What world are we in,
This
man?
interview, I know.
Let me ask this: is there a way that we're not looking at this? Is there a thing where Kanye is like, no, I'm sort of taking ownership? Trust me, the last thing I want to do is give that guy credit. But
We're
is
just
he
trying to wrap our heads around this
Is-
shit.
yeah,
There's
is he trying
that's
to,
all.
like-
It's all a given that
Yeah.
we're just trying to wrap our heads.
Is he
around
gonna?
it.
Is he taking some control, taking some power back from that? Taking like again, you don't know. That's an
Yeah.
outfit that we all associate.
Oh, you mean like kind of in the same way that the N word became? You mean
Yeah.
in that
Yes.
sense, sort
Sure.
of? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
just to kick that around?
there is some credence to that.
Yeah.
Because back around the Yeezus era, remember he was running around with the bomber jacket.
Yeah. The Yeezus.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. But Jonathan,
I know the
someone
Yeezus
that's
True. No. I was just I'm going thinking back. Oh yeah, he basically called himself Jesus.
Well, it is
too.
fun. You know,
In
what?
hindsight, yes.
Actually, your reaction is good to remember because like we just say it like it's normal, but that is crazy. He
Yeah,
made
it
an
is.
album where his
actually
name was
is,
just
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And it's so ingrained because it's such a wild and brilliant record.
It
that
is.
We
It's one
kind
of
of
my
forget.
favorite albums.
It's one of the best albums.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
he was walking around with a bomber jacket with the Confederate flag patch on it. For that reason, that's
Yeah.
exactly what he stated.
Oh, right,
taking
right.
the power. So he has done that before. This is different, but he also, another point that he mentioned is because not only did he have the Klan outfit on, he had a necklace. He had a swastika necklace, like diamond encrusted, like iced out.
Iced out.
And he said yes. And a point that he mentioned during the interview is they get mad at me for wearing their pain, but they profit off of our pain. They profit off of music, and that's the part.
Oh,
that
they being Jewish people. Oh, okay.
and
I
yes.
have so many problems with all of
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
Like fuck him. Are you kidding me? Fuck you, Kanye. That's bullshit.
I agree.
That plays into the myth of Jews run Hollywood, Jews run whatever. Like,
Do you guys know
what I mean?
where that came from though?
General
Not
anti-Semitism? I don't know.
No, but Jews in entertainment in Hollywood. That actually came from like vaudeville times when Jewish people weren't allowed to they couldn't get loans from banks and stuff to run regular
Oh,
businesses.
so
Yes,
they
I
had
have
to.
heard
So that
Yeah.
they went to the entertainment world and vaudeville and
Okay. I
theaters
did
and
not
stuff
know
like
that.
that. And that's the only way that they not the only way. I don't want to pretend like I know crazy,
So-
but in that book Comedians, I read all about this, and it's essentially like,
I had no idea.
Yeah, so Jewish community was like, this is where we can gain a lot of sort of wealth and whatever. So they did that.
Right,
so
so-
over the years, they continued to invest in Hollywood and entertainment and all the different
Yeah.
ways that they can. So this idea now that they control everything, it's like, yeah, but because that's
It's-
the fucking way that they could
It's when
get any wealth.
Yeah, that's makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
And that happens to any group that's not just plain old white people. It's
Yeah,
just,
right.
You do. Oh yeah, you do this. It's like, yeah, because we fucking had to, dude.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
like,
But putting the
that's good to know. I didn't know.
yeah,
that.
exactly. But like putting like what you said about the Jewish community aside, there is a point of yes, there isn't any uproar when any people profit off of
Right.
music that glorifies the murders of black men.
Right.
Like sure,
Sure,
like, that's
sure,
the
sure,
point. But that's the thing that makes it so hard to be with Kanye. It's like every amount throughout all the insanity, there are like little lines where it's like, okay, you kind of have one point.
He makes one brilliant point surrounded by 90 insane nightmare
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
like
Yeah, because it's just for me, my big reaction there was more about you're going to wear a swastika. You've
Yeah,
lost
hell no.
any
You're
stance
gone.
of
You're gone.
whatever your next thing that you say
Yeah.
doesn't count.
Yeah.
That's kind of what my reaction was.
you better have if you're gonna do. You better have an incredible excuse.
Yeah.
you better have the most mind blowing
because he was standing
explanation.
because he was
of all-
standing in a KKK outfit wearing a
And
swastika.
he
It's
also
like, you
had that.
got-
I didn't see that in the picture. That he
No,
had
because
that on
the
as
hood
well.
was covering up the swastika.
Oh, well,
But he
good.
tried
Yeah,
to
okay.
make it visible, but he couldn't because the hood was just
It's
too
like,
long.
he's like I don't want people to see this symbol of hate. I should cover it up.
No, he didn't want to cover it up.
I
He was
know,
trying-
I
but
know,
and
but
that's the other part that made me laugh.
I like the idea though that he's like, oh no, I'll get in trouble for this, and puts on.
Jesus Christ.
It was so funny to watch how his fashion sense was like colliding with his anti-Semitism because he started doing like set design, like he was telling academics like, no, we gotta stand right here, and then he reached and put on these boots. So that I guess maybe he would look taller, but you're already wearing a pointed hood. So we already like you, and they're shooting waist up. We can't see the like. It made no sense at all.
Man. He did his homework the day before. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's no way he was prepared. He was like, I'm gonna figure this out tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I think that's very much
Yeah.
Kanye. I don't think he plans
Jeez.
much of it.
He's not a planner.
I don't think he's a planner.
When he basically made an album live. Like Donda,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He made the freaking album in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like just
Wow.
and had like multiple concerts where things like fucked up and like.
Oh, yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
He just does shit on the fly.
Yeah.
This is even
people do live albums though.
Well, yeah, but not It wasn't a live album. It was just like an
A
album
living
that
album.
a living album.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
just made it over multiple. Like he made it when no one was there, and then he did a performance that didn't go well. It sort of went well. Then he did another one that went well, and then he had the record ready to go, and then he didn't. Then he did. Then he didn't. It was
That's
just
been his kind of whole career.
Yeah.
Like Kanye never like puts out these days. I don't think he puts out a finished product because even then his new album that he's about to come out with, it's on like YouTube. You can stream like the early version
wow. Oh,
really?
right now. And I gotta say, it don't sound bad.
Really?
I'm sorry, it does not sound
That's the
bad.
thing,
You
man.
love
Well, that's the
Kanye.
thing.
Well, here's the thing. I
love
finally
him.
have learned the answer to is there anything Kanye that can do
Yeah.
that will make me turn from him? And the answer actually is yes.
okay.
Whoa.
But it's not this.
It's making a bad record.
No, it's not that. The thing that finally made me say, like, all right, Kanye has done too much is when he said what he said about Jay-Z's kids.
Oh no.
And that is it. He made like a, I guess,
Remind me
an
what he
ableist
said. Remind
slur.
me what he said. I think I've heard. Maybe I
If
haven't
you
heard this.
call someone the R word, that's like an ableist
Yeah, yeah,
slur,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
he
sure,
made
sure.
an ableist slur about one of Jay-Z's, like Jay-Z's son. And I was like, that's the only way you
Does
can give me
Jay-Z have a developmentally challenge?
yes, from
I
what
don't
I've
know
heard.
the right words.
I
to
believe
use.
his son has like autism, so
Oh, okay.
you don't really see him in
Yeah,
public because he can't
neurodivergence.
handle like
Yeah, that's not. I thought he and Jay-Z were cool.
they were at one point. But
Wait,
Kanye,
really? Did he burn that bridge? Huh.
Yeah,
Isn't
I
that
know.
funny?
Weird.
I
I'm
know.
gonna guess
It's like-
that. Wow.
That's one thing you can't. The only way I can turn against Kanye
Is if someone says
you go
something-
against my favorite rapper. All right, now you've done it.
Billionaires beefing is pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
You're like full on hood. Ah, okay, iced out swastika. All right. You called my favorite rapper's kid the
You
R word.
disrespect Jay-Z.
We're done.
It's over. It's over.
Wow.
But man, there's just so much to take away from this interview. Like I feel like I could keep going.
Yeah,
We
What,
haven't
like-
even talked about what they talked about.
Yeah. What?
so
did
yes,
they, give
let's
us
get
some.
into that. One of the more, I would say, one of the highlights was that he said he never wanted to have children with Kim Kardashian,
Oh,
and
okay.
I don't know if I believe him.
I don't believe him.
I'll ask a
I'm
dumb
not
question.
so sure
Did-
to write that off.
Did they have kids?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they can have
Oh.
at least two.
Yeah. What are their names again?
North
One's
and
North.
West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
One of them's not West.
Yes,
It's
is.
West. No, Northwest is the name of North.
Okay.
Right? There's no way he has a kid named West. Although anytime you say "there's no way," that's that's an
You want me to do
invalid.
it?
If it's about
Oh wait, Saint. You're
Saint.
right. Yeah,
Saint.
the other one is Saint.
Northwest and Saint
All right.
West.
Yes,
I
you're
can't
right.
believe Northwest is the name. That's
Yeah.
It's just.
it's something.
Yeah.
But I'm actually
It's
not
funny, but in a shitty way.
Yeah, it's bad. But also, I'm not so. I could kind of see it.
What West?
No,
I honestly didn't know if that's not what
Yeah.
you meant.
that Kanye not wanted to have kids with Kim
Yeah.
Kardashian. I can't kind of believe it, even though we saw how off the wall he was when Pete Davidson like came in the picture and like how he
Right.
acted through all that. I do think he's the type of person that could not want to be with somebody, but then also not want to see them when they went else.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I
see
think
that.
that's
See that,
him
yeah.
to a T.
Yeah, so I definitely think there's like an ego thing of like, yeah, I didn't want to have kids with you, but you still belong to me.
Yeah.
My thing with that is Kanye doesn't seem like the kind of person. Okay, so obviously in real life, if you are a woman, for now, hopefully, whatever, you can get an abortion, right? If you want it, like you can,
Yeah.
in theory,
At
depending
least
on what
in certain
state you're
parts of
in.
the country, right? Yeah.
Right. But like I feel like Kanye is the type of person who's so controlling and so manipulative that like if he didn't want to have kids, he probably would have made sure he didn't have kids. That's my guess.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
that's actually
Maybe.
a very good point.
Like Kim may I don't know what she's like but in terms of
Pretty
like,
nefarious.
but I don't
thought
if
you know
she's
what I mean?
like I don't know who out manipulates who. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like maybe she's sneaky manipulative too. I don't know. They both
Again,
seem
that's
like
billionaires beefing.
yeah,
Again,
Yeah.
who knows?
I can't say for sure, but just from what I've observed, I have to give Kim credit. It does seem like she has done lot.
I give Kim a lot of credit.
Yeah.
For just by necessity. She is certainly like I'm not saying like seems like the coolest, most awesome person in the world, but like just by virtue of the fact that she has continued to be alive and raising kids with dude's a monster. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know where you were going with that. Okay, in spite of him, you
in
mean?
spite
Yeah,
of
right.
that
Yeah,
she
yeah, yeah.
like seems to.
Yeah, I think it's just hundreds of millions of dollars. That helps.
It does help. It does help to have an outlandish amount of money. Yeah.
But
I'm a little careful to give her too much credit, but
Well, no, I
but
know.
again, he sucks, and he sounds like an awful person.
But that
And
would be-
to have been married to
I
that
think-
guy was probably
I think having
a bananas
yeah.
experience.
and continuing to be beholden to him in some way, shape, or form
Yeah.
probably really blows.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not saying she seems like the awesomest, coolest person ever, but of the two, I'd rather hang out with her. I'll put it that way.
I think at this point,
Yeah.
Yeah.
at this point for sure.
If I had to,
And
people
as
are
long as I
making me
don't-
hang out.
as long
with
as I
one-
get to listen to Kanye's music and hang out with her.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Not at the same time, ideally,
Go on.
but
Yeah.
I just don't want to listen to her music. Is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
she's
Does she
making
have music? I have no idea. I'm just kind of assuming she does.
Yeah.
She
You know
has
what I mean?
probably made a
She
song.
probably has an album.
There
somewhere.
probably is a song somewhere. Yeah.
My album is dropping.
Now, there obviously it's a Kanye interview, so there's going to be some quotables in this
Yes.
interview.
But we haven't gotten to the quotables.
Oh no! Oh no! Are you kidding me? He said John Legend wears sweaters in August and smells like mashed potatoes.
Wait, John Mayer?
John Legend.
Honestly,
John Legend.
Both of
And I
those
see
things
it.
sound likely to me.
I think it's spot on.
Sounds
I
so
think it's-
real.
John Legend wears sweaters in August and smells
Especially
like mashed
the sweater.
potatoes.
The sweaters in August feels spot on
Oh,
to
yeah.
me. Smells like mashed potatoes. I'm not sure what to do with that. There's racial overtones to that I don't want to go to. I mean, there's
funny.
not, but there could be.
Feels so arbitrary, but yeah, that's funny, I guess.
But the sweaters in August.
That was such a random.
It's so random.
That feels so. I bet they're turtlenecks too.
Yeah.
John Legend
they
has turtleneck energy.
Oh, for
through
sure.
the roof.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And I don't
can
even
see
think
them
the
on
mashed
slopes.
potatoes thing is necessarily a diss. That smells like warmth to me. Like,
Yeah.
that smells
Yeah.
like comforting.
Yeah, I guess.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
bad either. I just don't know if I want.
I just wouldn't want to
I
smell
don't
like
know if-
scallop
I
potatoes.
don't know if my body. Okay.
It's just an odd comment.
derailed.
It's just an odd comment. I don't know.
I just think smelling like any kind of savory food is a real tightrope. Like
It can be. It can be.
I want to if I'm going to smell like something food, I want it to be an herb or a spice. You know, not
Okay.
a
wanna smell like
I
oregano?
don't want to smell like a dish.
What's your
baked
spice?
potato.
What spice you want to be?
Old.
Oh, fuck, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you say get out? I
Yes.
think so. Get out. Get off the couch.
Yeah.
You got 5 minutes off the couch.
I don't know. I feel like smelling like something meaty or savory is not like that's maybe a
I'm trying to
natural
think of
musk,
something that
but not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I feel like you'd be like cumin or
I want to
turmeric.
smell like a garden.
Okay.
I want to smell like an English garden.
basil. You should be a
I
basil.
just want to smell like
basil.
basil. Did you say oregano a minute ago?
I did say oregano.
Yeah, I just want to smell like just spaghetti. If I can just.
It's not a bad one. I would. I think
All right, let's do it. What would you if you smell like anything?
anything.
You gotta lock it in right now, forever.
Oh, man, you have to smell like something.
Okay.
Oh, just anything doesn't even have to
Yeah,
be a
and
spice.
like that's your smell. Like that's your smell forever.
Man, do you remember the air freshener trees? The black ice.
Black ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my!
That's
you
your
guys
scent?
both knew that.
Yeah, black
it's like
ice.
a
That's
thing.
a classic.
I, ne-
thing.
I never. I don't know anything.
I
about
don't think
it.
I ever had one, but I know. I don't.
Oh,
I
I've
was
had
gonna
one.
say black. I didn't remember the ice part, but yeah.
You wanted to smell black.
Yeah, he does. He
it's
does.
not what I- well,
He
He does want to
Yeah.
smell black.
I mean-
yeah, he
Yeah.
does. That's true.
yeah, probably to be honest.
I do. I love
We go to Jonathan's house. There's cocoa butter there right now.
But
I
with
promise
just
you.
a touch of lavender, just a touch
Oh,
of
man.
lavender on it.
All right. That's
I'm right now thinking about whether or not I have cocoa butter. I don't think I do.
You'll get back to us.
yeah.
All right.
Well, you got one?
Do I have cocoa butter?
No. Smell
'cause the
thing.
answer
Are
is
we
yes.
moving
My
on? Are we
real
moving
answer
on?
is lavender. I
No,
wanna
that
smell
was
it.
my answer. The black ice.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, lavender.
I don't even know what I think. I don't know. Is it weird if it's like a campfire?
A little,
mad at that.
but that's
Yeah.
okay.
I kind of like
That's
that.
a unique. Yeah, I like that.
All right.
But do you
I'll
want
go
to
with
smell
that.
like
real
you,
light?
But you
like
want to?
real,
I was
real
about to say,
faint.
do you want to
Yeah.
smell like you've been at a campfire?
like
because that's
you know when you walk
nightmare,
outside
man.
sometimes and someone's got a fire brand like in their chimney or something like
See,
that, just real
like a distant brush
yes,
fire.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Okay.
yeah, a little bit of death. Yeah.
So lavender, black ice,
Destruction.
and just a
Demise.
a little
demise.
bit of a campfire. That's a good.
Yeah.
Now, you
All right.
mix those together.
One more thing on the
Now
Kanye
you're
interview,
cooking.
and then we
Yeah.
can move on. And
don't
this
have
is
to move
probably
on.
the most. Nah, well, we probably because we got other
I know,
topics.
I
I don't
know.
want to drag this too long. But this next part that I'm about to bring up really was the most telling part of the interview to me. It's going to sound even relative to everything else.
I
It's
was
going to
about to
sound the same. Just stick with me. Kanye explains how he was hanging out with another rapper, and another rapper got him to take an interview with this guy named Mr. Pink.
Okay.
And it was about a cryptocurrency. And the other rapper got paid $2 million to set this up. And as Kanye was explaining this, Kanye said, more or less, I understand this sounds like a crazy Quentin Tarantino movie. And I know this sounds ridiculous, but that was really the part that really made me say, like, I think I have to be done with Kanye. Because if you are still able to discern when something sounds crazy, maybe you really do mean all this stuff that you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's terrible.
That's a great point. The fact that he was able to say this might sound crazy, and
Yeah.
yet he's also like, and here's why I'm wearing a swastika.
Yeah, because my excuse for Kanye this whole time has been
Lack of
he's dealing with
self-awareness.
mental health issues.
Yeah.
Like we don't really know,
Which I
the
think
effects.
is objectively true.
Which I
But,
think is to
yeah.
a degree, yeah, it's true. But if you were even to say, okay, I know this sounds off the wall. I
Yeah.
get y'all are going to have a hard time believing
Wow.
this.
And the crazy
Yeah.
part is not that he's wearing
Yeah,
fucking
despite
clan
it-
robe.
this whole thing. You chose to put on these boots
Yeah.
nobody could even see. Like this whole thing. And that was the part where you had to like qualify the statement.
I miss when he just said things like George Bush doesn't care about black people. When
Yeah.
it was just like, that's a crazy thing to say on TV, but oh yeah, you're probably right. You know,
Yeah,
I
that
miss
was sort of
that.
the reaction.
Yeah.
Was the wow was
The
when
wow
he
was
did it.
he said the quiet part out loud.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Now
Wow.
it's just like,
No, it's a really
oh.
great point. Yeah, he's more sort of lucid about this shit than we thought he was. maybe.
That's what I'm saying. I think he
Yeah.
might be a little more aware in here than I previously
Zoinks.
thought. And yeah,
Dude can make a beat.
he can. I'm telling you, the new album is sounding good. I
Yeah.
gotta give it to him.
And it's not
You know
even
what?
done yet,
You know
right?
what?
It's not done yet.
It probably will be good because
Yeah.
a lot of his best stuff seems to happen when he's at his wildest.
Yeah, right.
which is a very unfortunate thing, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
that's my final thoughts on that.
we love a little bit of crazy in our artists and our creators.
a little bit.
For forever, it's always been that
Oh, yeah.
way.
A little bit.
I think I just heard something about that on how.
I mean, the
in
Van Gogh
fact,
is the classic example.
well,
right?
you know what's funny? I'm reading The Stand. Actually, I just about finished it, and one of the guys in there is talking about how, you know, this was in this particular spot. It was about like religious, and it's like, yeah, like creativity usually comes through people who have some. They're
Quite
a bit of a conduit to you know, other planes and other, you know,
Yeah.
all those strange things.
Sure.
And it's either someone who's, you know, mentally challenged, or they've got this a variety of
Trauma,
things. Trauma,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah,
Maybe there's something to that, and Kanye sort of fits the bill for
yeah,
that.
I don't think. I think it's a thing where it's like, I think it's a fallacy, and even dangerous might be a strong word, but a destructive fallacy to say that in order to be a great artist, you have to die in your hotel room or whatever.
Right, yeah, you have
like,
to suffer.
To say that like that's the key to great art, fuck you.
Yeah,
But
I'm with you on that.
is there a connection between, you know, mental illness or any, or, you know, madness, if you want
Yeah.
to use an old school phrase or
Right.
whatever? Is there a connection between that and art? Absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just you just look, you know, you're closing your eyes if you don't see that.
Sure.
Name
But-
one genius staying crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just think. I think we do ourselves a disservice when we put too fine a point on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we,
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
because you can be a great artist and be a good person with a good life that's not miserable. But yeah, there does seem to be some
Mm-hmm.
connection there.
Yeah. Well, speaking of not looking bad in the media, or actually looking very bad in the media,
What do you got?
LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith
Okay.
have really been
do
going
it.
back and forth for like 2 weeks now. This has
Yeah,
been going on for a
yeah.
minute.
So I've seen stuff around this. I've seen them like they're back and forth. I've seen one of them did the LeBron. One of them said the other one was full of shit or something like that. Or like I guess it's kind of been what they've been doing a little bit. But I never quite. I wasn't totally sure. I haven't looked into it enough to like. What's the heart of the matter?
So
What's
what
the-
kind of like kicked off the whole like Stephen A. Smith versus LeBron thing as of late? Because there's kind of been like
Right.
some things going on behind the
Stephen A.
scenes
Smith is a mad
for a minute, kind of.
Again, he's someone
Stephen A.
who's
Smith
Go ahead.
was commenting on Bronny James, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you may be able to speak more to it than I can, but he was basically critiquing LeBron, I guess, for getting Bronny on the Lakers, something like
Right,
that.
okay.
And
I wondered
Stephen
if it
A.
had to do with that.
Yeah, kind of made a statement along the lines of, LeBron, as a father, I'm begging you, please stop this. Like he said something like
Yeah.
that.
like saying like nepo baby type thing.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
kinda-
pretty sure that's it. Yeah.
And then like a day or two later, after the Lakers game, LeBron just walks up to him
on the court. This is
on the court.
Oh,
At
okay.
the end of
Stephen
the
A's,
game.
yeah.
And we can't hear him, but you can read the body language, and you could tell. that,
Stephen
like,
A. Stands up. I believe he was sitting down. He stands up, and LeBron is very sort of animated, and you could see his face. You could read his lips. Somebody probably is reading his lips, and he's being
Going off?
pretty aggressive. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He never touches him,
Right.
but it's definitely.
Although apparently Stevie A wanted him to do it.
That's the funniest thing of the whole.
Stephen A. was
deal.
ready to swing on him.
He would've
Like,
got
him
the
say-
shit beat
Oh.
out of him.
clearly,
Them
yes.
standing next to each
Yeah.
other was comic. It was comically different. Yeah. Stephen A's like in a suit, and LeBron's literally like a foot and a half
Right,
bigger than him
yeah.
and twice as wide. And
See,
Stephen A has the fucking gall to say it on TV. He's like, I would have swung on. If he touched me, I was going to swing on. I was
I,
like,
I
what?
believe that you would have swung, and then it would have been the last thing you see
Oh
that
my
day.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you would have woken up later after you took
Yeah.
that swing,
That's just nonsense.
or LeBron would have just been like whatever and walked away, and you'd keep punching him as he walks away.
Yeah, you
You'd just be
yeah.
like, I don't feel these
Yeah,
hits.
that's right.
I don't feel you punching me.
Trying to punch Thanos.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of wild, right? Like the idea. First of all, challenging someone as a father is real inappropriate
okay, yes.
in many circumstances. I'm not saying it's never something you can do, but that feels like unnecessary. Like that didn't feel like no one needed to hear that criticism.
Unnecessary
No one needed
sort of describes Stephen A. Smith in general,
Yeah.
I think. That's kind of his deal. Is just unnecessary.
Yeah.
He just says shit.
his everything
He
about
says
him, his
shit and
demeanor and everything.
commits to it forever.
Yeah. yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he's that guy.
It makes for good entertainment.
It does make
It
for
does.
good entertainment, and it makes for a bad way to live a life. Because if you can't just fucking let go, like back down.
I have. It's funny. I have.
I'm great at backing.
I
down.
have people. Yeah, right. I have people in my life that one of the things that over the years you watch them and they feel everything huge.
Yeah.
There's never like they don't just like enjoy something. They fucking love it. They love it.
Sure, yeah.
Or they hate it. Or they are in love. Or they want to kill. You know what I mean? That's just there's no.
Can't relate. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think that's a hard way to live. Like the idea, like
Do
we
you
all
not
have
think that
like
kind of describes me a little bit? Maybe like lower. Maybe not.
Nah,
maybe
not
not
to the
what
same
you're talking
degree,
about,
yeah.
but like.
No, I
No, you don't think so? Oh, okay,
Not really,
that's
no.
actually great to hear.
Yeah,
All right.
you're an intense person, but I don't think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You've got some intensity about you.
Yeah.
We've been meaning to talk to you about it.
The fuck do you say?
Yeah. What'd you say about my kid? Yeah, I just
not even joking.
Nor is a mid actor.
Someone that I feel fits that description is Kanye.
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
all or
who I
nothing.
picture when I hear that. But yeah, so I mean, look, I'm not a father. I feel like you can kind of speak to this
Oh, shit,
angle,
you're
and
not?
your father aged, so I feel like both of you could probably
Jesus
comment.
Christ. Fucking catching strays
also,
over here.
Also,
My
Jordan,
God.
your father aged. Just so you know.
Well, yeah, I guess technically. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what's going on? You
You
me
are
and you
fathering.
team up against him. You don't
I know. I know. I was just trying something new.
I
It
don't
was
know.
cool. I saw an opportunity
you
to
said
try
some shit
something.
my way.
Alright,
I am
alright.
definitely fathered.
But like,
I've never felt more powerful in my life.
Okay.
I feel high status all of a sudden. This
Yeah.
is weird.
He said all of a sudden. Go
but
ahead.
this is a hard situation, right?
Yeah.
Because Stephen A. This is his job to comment
Right.
on athletes.
Sure.
Sure, man.
Right.
It's a good point.
And I understand, or I can imagine your want as a father to defend your child, even as they are an adult, and kind of have to like
Absolutely.
take like these type of criticisms on,
Especially
on their own
when
at this point.
that's the conversation around Bronny, right?
Yeah.
It's like, does he deserve it? Does he not? Does he belong here? Does he not? Is he good enough? Is he not? Like that's
Yeah.
So that's probably a tough thing to watch as the greatest basketball player of all time, arguably.
Is your dad? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
tough.
There may be something where I've seen this before, where you'll have a sports pundit and they will this is their thing, this is their flag, they're going to hammer away at that.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
And I think Stephen A. again does. I think he's also an edgelord. I think he's a guy.
Oh, he's
I'm going to
totally
say the
an
most
edgelord.
controversial thing, and I'm going to try to get everybody's pulse up. He and like Colin Cowherd, that's what they do, and I think I've got feelings where I can see him defending his son, but also you're the best basketball player arguably that ever lived. You're going
Probably
to do it
ever,
on the
yeah.
court.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't do that behind closed
So-
doors. You couldn't sort of approach him if you really wanted to intimidate him.
Yeah.
Doing it on the court is not how I would have done it. I would have intimidated him, and that is quietly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how you intimidate.
Maybe
somebody.
go up and
not going up and flexing and doing with all the cameras around, everybody watching. That to me, it didn't feel. That felt disingenuous to me. I think
Okay.
these two.
So in your mind, was he putting on a show a little bit?
I think
LeBron.
I don't think it was. I don't think what he was saying he didn't believe. I
Right.
just think the way he went about doing it felt performative, as opposed to if you really wanted to get his attention. I just think there is much more sort of scary and more intimidating ways to actually
You could
do
go
it.
up to him and say like, "I've been listening," and walk away or something like that. Some shit like that.
I think. I mean, I could come up with a lot of different ways to do it, but with people showing up at where he works and things like that,
Right,
where you
right,
can be
right.
like, "Hey, you might want to change your attitude about this."
Yeah.
Those are the kinds of things that when I see
Take it onto his turf instead of.
that was just one example, but to me, whenever I've been intimidated by somebody, it's when you could see it in their eyes that they were serious.
Yeah.
And they were, those are the times. Those are quieter moments. The guy who's going "F you, I'm gonna come kick your ass," blah. I'm just like,
Yeah.
all right,
Oh, I see what
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying.
that's not.
You're
this
not
is-
too scared of that
yeah,
person.
the loud one that even if they would like fight or whatever, it's not the loud ones you're really that worried about. And again, this was in front of all these people and all and cameras, and you knew this shit was gonna go out
Yeah,
there.
you have to know this is going
Yeah.
out.
Right.
You
Yeah.
have to know this is
So
going out.
and maybe there's a way of doing both of those things, but to me it just felt like, if you really wanted to get something done, and that may have been for his kid, and maybe that's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like, I got this. I'm going to say something to
I
him.
want it on tape. I want my kid to see on tape that I'm defending.
Yeah.
him, maybe kind of.
But as the kid, would you want that?
No,
I
probably
wouldn't.
not. No, I don't
I
think
wouldn't
so.
either. Yeah. That's not.
I think I would be like, "This is my fight. This is my fight, Papa."
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
that was terrible. But I think, you're right. If I'm Bronny, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want to. It's that the best revenge is living well.
Yeah.
Right.
Go
right,
get in the
right.
game, man. Start playing better. I mean, there's a little bit of that. I think people who've been doing this long enough, like even like Tina Fey talks about in her book, it's just like you can't really engage in that shit.
It's kind of act
No,
like
not
it's
at
act like
all.
you've been
Can't.
there a little bit.
Yeah.
With
Not at
LeBron, I think maybe is that kind of what you're getting at a
Sure.
little bit. It's like, dude, you're a legend. Like, why are
Yes,
you,
it's
why are you
beneath you.
yelling at someone on a basketball court?
totally
Right.
beneath
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
And again, it goes back to the dad thing, and maybe there's something to that, but it's just all the layers of this would be like, don't do it there.
So when he when Stephen A, the original sort of the thing, the comments that kicked this off, was it him? Did it really sound like he was critiquing his parenting? Like he was critiquing him as a parent, or was he just sort of saying shit?
No, I think it actually did seem more like a critique of LeBron as a parent.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty fucking.
yeah, and I know I got like snippets of it, but yeah, that it was definitely like
That's distasteful.
it felt different. It
That's
felt different than
distasteful.
basketball
Right,
criticism.
yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, why are you getting after his
I don't
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah.
I don't care for that. I think Stephen A. is kind of a clown. I've kind of
it's
always
a
thought
total
that.
clown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's literally, he doesn't have the red nose, but that guy is literally a
Yeah,
clown. Like
yeah.
and I still watch his shit sometimes because
It's
clowns are
entertaining.
entertaining.
Clowns are entertaining. Yeah.
You know, but
Speaking
yeah,
of which, how's juggling going?
good.
Yes. Well, how has juggling been
Don't
going?
you guys worry about it. We're getting there.
What do you mean, don't worry about it. What are you doing? Are you cooking up something revolutionary?
I'm gonna
What's going
try.
on?
I'm gonna try.
Are you working on like a okay.
Maybe
Okay.
there may be video.
Yes. I'm
What's
so
your face? You're
I'm
supposed
so
you're supposed
glad.
to be supportive of
No,
this.
I'm
No, I know. I am
I
supportive
thought
because
you
I
were-
want to see this.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna be like, I'm working. Don't worry about it. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
No, like you're working on it.
I'm
You're
working
doing
on it. I'm gonna try to figure this out. It's
right.
not easy.
Of course it's not. Juggling seems
Yeah.
crazy difficult.
crazy
to me.
difficult.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I mean, of the many reasons I would never bother to learn to juggle,
Yeah.
the main one is it seems real hard.
May have bit off more than I can chew, guys.
Yeah.
I'm very well may have happened.
Wait, so are you still?
many things
are
have you broken in
3
this-
or
Yeah, 3 balls.
you still using 3?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So where are you getting?
I'm
like,
barely
your-
off of 2 balls. Let's be very clear.
Title of your sex tape. All right.
Yeah, where are you getting your practice in? Like, are you just in the green room backstage?
No, I'm
Just
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are these how heavy are these balls?
They're not heavy. They're heavy enough.
I mean, will they break something?
They're like hacky sacks almost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they're like
Little
bean
lever-
bags.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know.
We're just tickling balls. We're just doing it.
How dare you?
We gotta get your brother on here to like give Jason.
Oh, I
tips.
know.
We
I know.
do.
Yeah.
That has to be a segment.
I think he would probably love to do that. He lives in New York, but
Yeah.
Oh,
when
okay.
he's around,
All right, all right.
let's get him on.
All right.
Should we do a quick break? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think we should take a break. Everybody, we will be right back with Zoning Out presented by the Comedy Zone. Is that good?
You got it. You nailed
Okay.
it.
Perfect. We'll be right back. Thank you. All right, everybody, welcome back to Zoning Out presented by the Comedy Zone. Happy to
done.
be back, man. We were talking a lot during the break.
About AOC and
Yeah.
how she's the future.
Well, we were
We were not saying that. I
I
want to
am.
be very clear.
I'm saying that right now.
I'm not.
Go on.
Well, we
We
were
could-
talking.
we should-
because
we should get into it.
We talk a lot on this show. Maybe not as much as Cory Booker
Yeah.
has been talking.
Look
as
at
of
you,
late.
man. You are just.
This king of the segues.
Yeah. This
Look, somebody has to be a
communications.
producer. on the show.
You're the king of the segues. You're producer Hot Wheels.
Now here's the. All right.
He wants to get into it.
Segways. You know they have wheels.
But Senator,
Get it? Do you guys get it?
Yes, I get the joke. I
Okay.
get the joke.
Thanks.
Thank you for explaining that.
I just need to
punchline.
make sure everyone
Yeah,
got it.
You definitely want.
What percentage of your punchlines do you feel like you have to explain?
I should do it more.
Yeah. Probably. When it's real quiet, you gotta.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, just in case you guys didn't understand.
Oh, that's the thing that killed me about Jonathan. If it doesn't get enough laughter, he'll be like, "All right, well, I guess that didn't go as planned. It's okay. We'll keep going."
Yeah,
Like,
it's pretty bad. I'm pretty bad at comedy.
Yeah. Well, we've been meaning to talk to you
I'm
about
pretty
this.
bad at it.
okay. But no. All right. So Senator Cory Booker.
Yeah.
New
New Jersey, right?
What's that?
New Jersey, I think.
I think that's actually
Okay.
right.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
So in political protest, held the Senate floor for
What is it now?
25 hours and 5 minutes.
As of now.
No, I think he actually.
done?
It said spoke. I think he's done.
Okay.
now.
I think he's done.
You
I think
know,
he's done.
you know the person whose record he broke. Do you know this?
Oh, I don't.
No, I don't.
So it's Strom Thurmond,
Whoa.
who is a South Carolina senator.
Monster. I mean, senator.
Monster. and the speech. You know his version of this. Do you know what it was? what
Strom
he was
Thurmond sounds like he would have fought Beowulf. You know what I mean? Like that name, Strom
and would have got his
Thurmond
ass destroyed
came
by
out
Beowulf.
and fought
Strom.
Beowulf.
Yeah, it's got Game of Thrones
For
energy.
you to
for
have
sure.
just pulled Beowulf out of.
Yeah, you didn't even go to Game of
Air?
Thrones. Look at
Yeah.
you being fancy.
Wow. Amazing.
But Strom Thurmond is nightmare. He was doing the same thing, but what he was protesting
Oh boy.
was the Civil Rights Act.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. I did hear that.
So my analogy, I nailed it.
Yeah,
you did great.
I definitely nailed it. Good Lord.
Yeah,
But-
so that's a fun legacy to leave behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like this, man. This is
I do
is
too.
great. This
Yeah.
is great. Like we were talking, and that part probably won't make the show.
No, it won't.
But we were talking about it's good to see the Democrat Party doing something.
Being annoying, making noise.
Yes.
That's what we need. That's what be annoying, make noise. Whether or not it's crass, that's a thing.
Well,
we
the
were
thing
arguing
that's the
about.
point. This is
But-
not crass.
I know,
This
that's-
is
Yeah.
how it's supposed
No,
to be.
that's what I'm
done.
saying. I'm saying like whether or not things are expressed in a crass way is a separate conversation that we were having.
Right.
But I think we do all agree, and I think it's just clear at this point that Democrats just need to be louder.
It has felt like they haven't been doing anything. It
Just
felt
let-
just a silent letting things
They're
happen.
just like, oh gosh, good thing we're still rich.
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
it feels like.
It's been
that
pretty-
and
pretty
fucking
silent.
Schumer is dead to me forever.
Sure.
man.
100%
dead to me
agree.
forever.
Yeah.
he agreed to the like. I understand the points he made for why he agreed to the continuing resolution or whatever it was.
You ever see like a dog's at like a dog park or something like that, and then the one runs up to the other one, just rolls right over and shows
Yeah.
his belly. There's Chuck Schumer.
That's Chuck Schumer.
100% what
Yeah,
he did.
fuck that guy, man.
Yeah, that guy
like,
sucks.
and he gave like all these reasons for like, here's what could happen if we didn't pass it, and they're probably all real reasons.
Yeah.
But it's like, so fucking what? You want to? This is a fight.
Yeah,
You got to
totally
be
agree.
dirty. You got to take risks.
I agree.
Like that
Yeah,
was.
it's like it's not like you guys don't compromise on a regular basis,
Right.
In your jobs as senators
Right.
and congressmen. So,
yeah, you're just choosing a shitty compromise
Yeah.
over actually fighting.
yeah, absolutely. But Cory Booker has been doing this. So he 25 hours.
25
25
That's
hours
wild.
standing
Can you
standing
imagine
in place.
talking for
you can't sit
25
down,
hours?
and I think there's only a certain amount of time that you can not be speaking.
Yeah, you have to like.
Yeah.
Right. I think you're right. I don't know what that number
Yeah.
is, but like.
I learned it when Mr. Smith went to Washington.
Yeah?
You guys know. I've been wanting to bring that up. Anyway, there was a movie. It was in black and white. It was a long time ago.
It's a fun movie. It's a fun
Yeah.
movie that you watch now and you're like, that has nothing to do with anything now. You're like, that is just not even anything.
But I do have questions because I'm not exactly
Yeah.
sure how this works, right? So, for example, when he's up there talking, do other people have to stay in the room?
I don't think so.
So he could just be in the room by himself.
I don't think anyone ever has to be. I don't think anyone ever has to be there. Which is kind of weird.
I'm not sure. I want to push back on that because I can't imagine they just leave him in there alone because who then is monitoring it? So they're probably
Oh
are
no
court sort of
I meant
officials.
yeah. I think there are like the parliamentarian and all that has to be there, but like the other Congress people.
Yeah.
I don't think you ever are required to be there.
Yeah.
Because
Is
you
he
hear
a-
all the time about people not showing up for votes.
Is he a
or, like,
senator?
Senator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a senator.
Yeah.
All right. So okay.
Senators.
Interesting. Okay.
Congress senator. Oh yeah, because I always forget Congress is both of them.
Congress is both.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Interesting. Yeah. So this would be strictly senators being in there, and
Right.
and I don't know all.
Yes.
I only live
believe
here, guys.
I believe it's just.
I
the
just
Senate.
work here. You
Yeah,
know
it's
what I
kind
mean?
of
I'm
it's
not-
kind of irrelevant to the overall conversation we're having.
But it's exciting to
but-
see someone taking a stance,
Making some
and-
noise.
It is. It's very
Yeah.
exciting.
make
Also-
noise, make news.
Yeah. I also feel like this would be a nightmare situation for anyone going to an open mic. Imagine like this is a nightmare. You go up and
Yeah.
you cannot come down.
Yeah, that does. That sounds like an actual nightmare
There's
you might
no
have.
one in the audience, maybe.
If you guys ever had that, I wonder how many comics have had a nightmare where they can't leave stage.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Have you? Have either of you
No,
had that?
no.
I haven't had that
seems like a
nightmare.
real nightmare, though.
It does sound like something Cat Williams would do, though.
Not leave the stage.
Yeah, just stay up there and be like,
Do it. Do the
No.
impression you were about to do.
"Did you see my face?"
Yeah, I
And
saw you like,
I was like, you know what? I don't have it. I don't think I have it.
You
I
know
don't think I
who?
do it."
You know who relentlessly
I
does?
know who you're gonna
Wolfgang.
say.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really funny. Yeah, that's like
Wolfgang never passes up on a chance to pretend to be a black person.
100%.
Never.
100%.
that's really funny. Yeah, I keep getting this question.
That's why I played basketball in high school.
From younger comics. This has happened.
He
He's
have
actually
cocoa
really
butter
good,
too?
apparently. Probably.
All right, I'm
Who
sorry,
was good
Jason.
at basketball?
Apparently, Wolfgang was like real good at basketball in high school. Anyway,
Okay.
Says he.
People keep that. You
Go ahead.
You done?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
No.
About what if you're doing so well that if someone gives you the light, what if you're doing so well that it just you don't you just want to stay up there and keep doing well?
did someone ask you this?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
you-
Two different people asked me this.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Brand new. Brand new.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
And that just,
I'm glad to hear that they were
so
brand new.
hard. And it was just like, yeah, no. First of all, you're not going to have that problem for a long time. Second of all, yeah, absolutely not. Get the hell off stage.
Get off.
Get the hell off stage, and also even outside of just like, don't be an asshole, don't step on other people's time, or if you are the headliner, don't ruin the staff's night, don't all that. Even outside of all of that, leave them wanting more.
Yeah,
There it
exactly.
is.
You go out on top. You don't wait till it slows down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'll tell you this, there's not many things that will make you feel worse than you were on a run.
Yeah.
And then you mess up right at the end. And you didn't have to. You didn't
Yeah.
have to tell that last joke.
That's right.
You had it.
Yeah.
You could have walked off stage. You just
So,
had to.
You were at 57 minutes, and
Yeah.
you really just had to do 58.
Yeah.
I was in, I did one guest spot up at the Wisecrackers up in Wilkes-Barre.
Okay.
And it was the first time performing in my hometown, right? Going back up there.
Nice.
And so I was like, I'm going to do guest spot. I had
When
like,
is this?
I had
How
like
long
30,
is- how-
this was a few years ago. I mean, I'm maybe just a couple years in. But I felt like I was in a good spot. So I had like 30 people came. Maybe even if it's 20, I don't remember exactly. And the lady was like, okay, you got the spot or whatever. She's like, guest spots are 5 minutes. But honey, kill them in 3 before you die in 5.
Beautiful.
It was like,
Yes.
Beautiful.
I loved that so
Yes.
much. I was like, yeah, just be funny and then get the hell out of there. No one's going to be upset if you don't do your full time.
Right.
By a minute or two. Don't get me
Right.
wrong.
As
But
long,
yeah.
as long as you don't catch someone off guard who's coming up next.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
That's
Whoever
it.
the host
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yep. Great stuff.
That's great. Kill them in 3 before you die in 5. Is that what
Yeah.
it was?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy to no win. Like I heard there was a show recently. We won't say names.
Yeah,
on
I don't
air.
know what it is, but I'm already giggling.
The host did 40.
No.
I'm not lying.
40 minutes?
40.
I don't know what
So many
identifying
questions.
information is this.
Trust me, when I tell you the name off air,
Well, is it?
You'll be
at-
like, oh yeah.
Is it? Can you say where it was, or do
It
you
was
know
in
where
Charlotte.
It was?
Wow. 40 minutes. So probably not a club. It probably wasn't
It
a
was
club.
not a club.
Wow. That's amazing.
It's astounding.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. Well, you know what? I've told you guys this story before, and again, not naming names, where someone had 15 minutes, they end up doing 35.
Yeah,
I think we're talking about the same person.
Oh
actually.
Jesus Christ! That would make
Really?
perfect sense.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I was sitting with the guy who booked it, the producer of the show, and I kept, I keep time. I always keep time, and 5 minutes, and it was just like, are you? Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's I don't. This is. I'm apoplectic right now. I can't even talk about it. I can't even speak. That
Yeah.
shit is the worst thing
Yeah.
that you could do.
as a host, I just can't even wrap my mind around that.
Just stop.
Because
just
my
quit
thing
comedy.
is like, why?
Do you not like? Okay, let's genuinely consider.
I know this.
Let's genuinely consider the cons. Is it
Seems impossible, but go ahead.
is it possible that somehow this person isn't aware that all this time has passed?
Okay. All right. Let me tell you
Because
why.
that's the only explanation
Yeah.
I can possibly come up with.
Well, let me respond to you with absolutely not. And here's why. Because here's why. You're late all the time.
True.
Consistently.
Consistently.
We really, yeah.
But you feel what 10 minutes of lateness is.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know it does not feel like 40 minutes. You can tell when you've ran by your time a little bit.
Yeah.
And when, this is late enough to like cause an issue.
Right.
Seriously. Like it feels completely different.
When I'm going over time, I'm anxious. I'm like, I got the light, and I'm like trying to finish up. I'm like, I'm over a minute. I feel it.
I
Like,
went
gotta get the
way
fuck outta here.
over with Craig Ferguson one time because I didn't see the light and I just foolishly didn't have I didn't have my whatever I fucked up.
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
I went over by probably like 5 minutes more than I was supposed to do.
That's a
something
lot.
Like that. It was a lot, but that whole time in all of that, I was like, I feel like I've been up here.
Yeah.
I was thinking for
Yeah.
that whole 5 minutes, I was like, I don't know if I should still. I feel like I'm telling more jokes than I told last time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And like I got it. You know, I apologized, and he was really nice about it and everything. But he was pissed. But
Yeah.
he was not shitty about it. But he was just like.
5 minutes is significant,
Yeah.
especially if it's the early show.
I
which
want to
don't
be
know
crystal
what it
clear.
was.
That dude is awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
of course.
Yeah.
He was super cool about it.
And if it's the early show, that causes even more problems.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't remember whether it was the late show.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. I mean,
That's
a,
wild.
That's a
dude.
wild.
That is
Yeah.
wild.
That's not a thing we.
Yeah,
should
and so to that point, that just kind of makes me wonder, like, y'all, do you not want to work in the clubs?
Yeah.
Because you know that's not going, like, you'll never get away with that there.
I spent all.
They'll never
by the
have
way,
you back if you
Yeah.
try
I
to do
spent
it.
all night worried about that because I didn't
Sure.
get a chance to apologize to him. He had to leave like right after the show, so I didn't get to apologize to him till the next day.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And that night, I was just like, I'm screwed. I will never do comedy again. I am,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
like
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
of course.
catastrophizing. Like 40 minutes. That's
So can I ask where you heard? Were you there?
No, I heard from someone that I was
Someone,
on the show.
there was someone that was there. Was just like, you believe this shit? Did you hear this? Did that? Someone told you in a. Oh my God! Wait, did you hear what this guy did, or girl, or whatever?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Wow. No shit.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I can't process how you can be up to as the host knowing that you at best have 15 minutes.
maybe
15
Yeah,
minutes.
like-
You did 40? If I'm on the show, how do you not go, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Like, how? I think honestly I would say something.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would. Yeah, probably. I don't know. Just, I
If
just
it's
can't
if it's like
even-
a local show, right? Is it Caleb? Is it Kayla? Is it Angie? Like, we know a lot of these people. Can you imagine just being like, hey, what the fuck is going on here?
right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I talk a bigger game than I do, but that seems like do you want me to do time? Because this is ridiculous.
Right.
Like, come on.
Oh, I want to know everything. If somebody,
I know. All right.
and that's been our show because I just want to talk about. I just want to talk about that now.
All right. All right. Did we have something else? Because I wanted to talk about Hillary.
We do, if we want
Do
to
we-
talk about, we do have Morgan Wallen walking off of the
Oh,
SNL
shit, yeah.
stage.
Do we want to
Yeah.
talk about your album next time or this time?
We can do it next time.
Okay.
We're on a
All right, cool.
It's
All
a
right.
good time.
So yeah, Morgan Wallen, country star, I guess. I don't know if we necessarily call
he's
him
a star.
superstar.
Yeah, I think he's
star,
like a
right?
big star. Yeah, I couldn't name a
and-
single one of his songs, but
Well, yeah, and also apparently North Carolina native, so it hurts me
Oh,
to
yay.
have to bring this up.
Him and J. Cole.
totally the same.
Do not.
Very similar people.
Yep, same guy pulling this
Well,
shit.
J. Cole did walk away from a battle, so
That's
I mean,
true.
just-
That's true. He walked off stage
Yeah,
in a sense.
He did.
boy.
But yeah, at the end of SNL, I mean, even if you don't watch SNL on a regular basis, you know at the end of the show they do the whole
hug,
send off.
they-
Everybody hugs each other,
Yeah.
talks, whatever.
They're all laughing, smiling, hugging.
and apparently,
It stresses me out.
Does it?
If I was like thinking about doing that, makes me sweaty.
Hmm.
To think about because because you have to like you have to manufacture a genuine moment of human connection with like 30 people. One after another.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you have to like have the. I know you don't really. You can just hug them. Or
I
whatever.
know. I'll give
but
you
you see what I'm
this.
saying?
I'll
though?
give
have to
you
be
this, yeah.
And I'm excited to talk to you specifically because of I have this specific feeling for you. Also,
You know what?
I'm equally excited to hug and talk. You too. I get to also hug and talk
But
to
do you know what-
Oh my God, you're here still
You know
too.
what?
All right.
It's true.
That fucking seems
It
draining.
is true. He is genetically incapable of being cruelty free. It is absolutely true.
God.
What's happening?
It is impossible for
Wait,
you
is
to be.
Hold on. What?
Do we want to tell him now? Or do we?
I think it's kind of funny. Yeah, he'll
Me and
appreciate
Jason
it.
had a show. We did the cruelty free
cruelty-free,
comedy
yeah,
show.
right.
Yeah, and he introduced Jason and said like Jason's a co-host of the Zone Out podcast along with Jordan. There's a third co-host who's very funny, but he is genetically incapable of being cruelty free.
Johnny said
yeah.
that? It's actually kind of
It's kind of a great joke.
Hats off, Johnny.
Yeah.
I take that.
Pretty great. It was pretty great.
Was
yeah.
he like
It was-
being shitty?
Nah.
Even if
Yeah.
he even
like
if he
a-
was,
in
even
a
if he
fun
was
ball-busting
like
way,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He was very, very adamant that you're very funny.
Yes,
no,
absolutely.
me and Johnny
But it
are
was
good.
great.
But
And
that,
also-
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, you should probably put
actually.
that in your bio.
I
Actually.
kind of love that.
Roasted by Johnny Millwall.
I will
That's
be
right.
telling people about this.
Yeah.
That's I kind of love it.
Yeah, it was great.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
But Morgan Wallen. So,
Fuck
oh,
that guy. What a
by the
fucking
way,
asshole. Fuck
so
Johnny.
for me,
Just
I
kidding.
was
Love you,
thinking if the three of us were on SNL in that moment where it's like, oh, everybody, come on, get on stage. We're gonna do. The cameras are rolling.
Mm-hmm.
All of us would be like, hey, how you doing? Go fuck yourself. Yep, you suck. Eat my. You know what I mean?
Right,
We'd just
right.
be messing with each other because
Right,
there's no
right, right.
audio.
Yeah.
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 You know what I
Exactly.
mean? I think half the time they're all just playing that
Probably.
that bullshit game. Yeah.
I'm more thinking of
Oh, this reminds me of
the host, or even worse, the musical
Yeah,
guest.
right.
Because the musical guest is like, I haven't been interacting with you motherfuckers this week. I've
Yeah.
been rehearsing. I met you guys for 5 minutes.
Sure,
And you were like,
yeah.
we're excited you're here. And I was like, I'm excited to be here. And then I practiced my song. And then I went and did whatever rich, famous rock stars
Yeah,
do.
that's right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I've said no words to you this week, but I'm so excited to be talking to you right now. Like,
Yeah.
that just seems so awkward to me.
So I might
problem
see
to
your
have.
point.
Good problem to have.
Sure,
Yeah.
I might see your point, but the difference is, and especially why I can't really excuse Morgan in this case.
Oh,
is like-
I'm not excusing him. Let
Yeah.
me be clear.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm
oh,
not.
we're talking about the people. We haven't got to Morgan yet.
Yeah,
We're talking
yeah.
about
Oh.
the people in the background. While,
Oh, because
while
he
the
mentioned
hug.
musical guest, so I thought we were.
No,
talking-
no.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not I'm not excusing what he did. I'm just saying I do understand on one level the discomfort. That moment would make me uncomfortable.
But that's not why he
But
left.
that's not why he left.
No.
No.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring this remind me of an experience that I had on a film set. So I did this. I think it was Pepsi One. Believe it
We
was.
don't need to know which Pepsi.
Yeah, whatever it was. I probably even shouldn't have said that. But anyway, I don't give a shit. So I'm on this commercial, and the guy who directed it actually wrote the movie Traffic. He's written a bunch of shit. Remember that? But it was like not long after Traffic, if I remember correctly. Anyway,
Yeah,
so it was
that
like
movie that is the most overrated movie ever made.
Wait, is that the one with
Ooh,
Ludacris in it?
easy.
Am I thinking
Oh
about
no,
that?
not Sorry, I always mix up Traffic and Crash. Traffic's
No,
great.
no,
Traffic's
no.
Oh,
great.
what's in the
Michael
Crash?
Douglas.
Traffic's great.
and
Crash is garbage.
Yeah. So anyway, this guy, he's kind of a, he's a bit of a celebrity director coming in to do this, and
Steven Soderbergh?
no, I can't remember his name, but it's not Soderbergh.
Oh.
But anyway, so he changed the script literally like overnight, and they were like, oh, so what we're doing now is instead of doing the commercial that we all thought we were doing, we're gonna hire a whole new crew, and they're gonna film us filming the commercial. So it's like everyone here has to fill out like paperwork to be on camera.
Interesting. Okay.
Right? So this all happens really, really fast. So they literally filmed us it when we were having lunch. It was bizarre. It was such a bizarre experience. And I remember that there was times in lunch we were all sitting around eating and the cameras and shit are there, and we're like, just have your lunch. And I remembered picking up the Pepsi One, being like, you know what? I fucking love Pepsi One. And drinking it. I did that like 10 different times. Cameras would be over here, look at my buddy, be like, man, I fucking love
That's so
I
stupid.
made the
liked it.
commercial. I'm in the
You're in
commercial.
it doing
I got
that?
paid so much money.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah, I got paid so much money.
Say how much money you got
I don't
paid.
want to
Say how much money you got
It was
paid.
over 10
Say
grand.
it.
Hey,
That you
I
said
love
it.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
It was
shit.
over 10 grand. Just because, and they were like, you got to fill this out because you're on it in focus. And there's no way that I'm not saying I fucking love Pepsi One. That's a real thing. I
Because
might
think
get
about how
trouble
much
for
money 10,000 was back then.
Yeah.
That Pepsi One was still around.
that. Yeah, it was more than that. It was so much. I can't remember. Was it
He doesn't
Pepsi
even
One?
know
I don't
what you
remember what it
just
was because you're saying it's not that old. What are you saying?
No, he's
This is all
saying
right.
you're
No,
old.
you guys suck.
It's an old joke.
You guys are bad people. I don't like any
He
of
said
that.
it. I just laughed
No,
at it.
you're bad too.
I was following orders.
What? From our producer.
Oh, yeah.
There you
Okay.
Morgan
No.
Wallen, you suck.
Yeah. Man.
Okay, so why did he leave the stage though? I mean, I think I know, but
we don't know for sure. Like, the publicist isn't going
Yeah.
to like ever say. There's just a post from Morgan Wallen on his like Instagram story saying, "Get me back to
give me
God's
back to
country."
God's
Yeah,
country.
yeah,
Like a
yeah,
picture of
yeah.
his private jet or
Yeah,
whatever.
It
right.
felt like
yeah.
such a stunt.
Yeah, so it's clearly just like
Yeah.
I don't want to be around these New York liberal piece of shit, right? Like that's
Yeah, by the way,
I
that was
guess.
my takeaway
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah, Steve Hofstadter had a great post about this. It's like, oh yeah, so you went there, you spent all the time, you got paid for it, and then right at the end, you were like, literally before they turn the cameras off, you're gonna do your little protest
Yeah,
and say,
yeah.
"Get me back, get
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
bent, dude."
Yeah.
If
fuck
I'm
that guy.
gonna give Kanye, well, I'm not gonna compare him to Kanye.
Well, I mean, listen, he's not Kanye,
But there's a little
he
bit of,
does.
like-
Morgan Wallen has a string. He has a.
Yeah.
He has a little bit of a pass.
He
He does have a little bit
he
of a pass.
straight up
Write the
said the
song.
N-word, dude.
Yes.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Did he
it's
do the one
documented.
about the small town? Try that in a small town.
Nah, that wasn't him.
Oh, okay. I thought
know.
maybe
Yeah,
like
it wasn't
a-
him.
I'm not gonna lie. I was driving up through a southern state that I don't want to say, and that song came on, and I was like, "Wow, people do play this shit." All right,
Wow.
that's interesting.
It's so is the I don't. I mean, I think I get even just from the words you said. I think I understand the song
Yeah.
and the problem with
Try
it.
that
but-
in a small town.
Oh, you don't
We all-
remember that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was a big like.
Yeah, it was a bit.
When?
It was a bit of is dog whistle. Is that the right
Yes.
term?
Dog whistle is
Yes.
absolutely the right
Yeah,
term.
it was that kind of shit.
When
I
was
listened
this?
to it and I was like, "This song's garbage."
2023.
Oh, okay,
Or was
so
it last
so
year?
so I mean,
Relatively
Yeah, it wasn't
recently.
like way
in
back.
our
I think we were
time.
doing the podcast
in the Trump era.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
definitely.
kind of my
Yeah.
question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I think it was like Black Lives Matter. There's a lot of protests and shit, and it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, try that in a small
Right,
town.
right, right.
I
It's
got
like-
my
it's like-
daddy's old rifle.
And it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, dude, no one's gonna. No one was thinking about it, nor would that even
Yeah.
have a point.
Yeah,
So,
it was just a pretty.
ugh.
Yeah, but
Dick.
again, this idea that there's someone feeling better, you're feeling like you're better than what the liberal SNL.
Right,
It's like,
right.
how about it's just maybe it is a liberal SNL. Fine.
So
why
what?
are you doing the fucking show then?
Yeah, yeah.
Don't do the show and get paid and get all the publicity and
then
all
be
the
a little
shit
bitch.
and then act like a bitch about it. You
Yeah.
can be even if beforehand you were like, I didn't really want to, do this, but I got a career. Like I would respect you if you did that.
Yeah.
Like,
But making a shit, and he walked past. He like
The-
walked
the camera,
and
yeah.
like as if that's the only way to leave.
Yeah.
That can't be the only way to leave,
pretty
right?
sure that's not the way to leave.
yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
he like went and
Tried to
sat
guess.
down in his seat and watched. Like what the fuck, dude?
I don't know. I guess
What a loser.
I'm probably hypocritical, but it's like the idea of stunts is really bothersome. It feels disingenuous. It feels like I'm doing this for this thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there are other stunts that I fully approve
Cory
of.
Booker.
I was about to say actually.
Cory
yeah.
Booker.
Well, is that I don't know.
It's different. That's totally different.
It's I'm protesting this, and therefore
Yes.
you go do it, as opposed to this little secret little thing, and then
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you later why.
I
did
think
it.
"Get Me
Like,
Back
that
to
just-
God's Country." I would call that a dog whistle.
Yeah, yeah.
I
maybe.
think like a little bit less intensive one,
Yeah.
but I think it's like "Get Me Back to where the good people are."
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Don't let the door hit you in the
yeah,
ass on the way
yeah.
out.
And
So.
he also has an album. I don't know whether I don't know his music, but like I know he has an album or a song that's either out or coming out called "I'm the Problem" or something like that.
Yes.
About him, like this shit drives me up the fucking wall. The whole thing is like him like owning his mistakes or whatever, and it's like, nah, man, no, you don't get to just do that.
Yeah.
You can't just be a dick and then make an album called "I Guess I'm a Dick," and everyone's like, "Well, he knows, so it's
Yeah.
fine."
We should
Fuck
all
you,
we should all
man.
pay for that that single. So
Yeah.
you're making money off your apology
exactly.
too.
Like
All right.
I'm the problem. Like and you remain so, sir.
Yeah.
like
I'm
Well
also just in general. I'm not mad at him saying that he wants to go back to God's country, but it just was so obvious that
The
it was
way-
the
Right,
thing.
yeah.
If it was just that, be like, boy, get me back to the country. All right.
yeah, you're
I get
allowed
being
to
a-
like living where you live
Yeah.
and the people you grew up with. You're allowed to like that, but don't make it. But
made it a
There were
statement.
implications there. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was not.
And also, can I just say,
You can.
as someone
We'll allow it.
I give you
Go
born
ahead.
and raised in North Carolina, and I do love
In
this
God's
place.
country.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose
That's
between
right. We're in God's country.
We are in God's country.
Lumberton, North Carolina, and New York City, I'm staying in New York. Okay.
Yeah.
Hot take, man. Hot take.
Like, not-
Lumberton.
Not, not necessarily
what about
living
Plumtree,
there.
North Carolina?
Well, like he's from
That's
one
where
of
I
them.
lived, baby.
How about Cherville? That's right up the road, Cherville. Nothing? Jesus Christ, guys.
I just don't know
You don't
it.
know what it is? Okay. All right. It's Cherryville, but you don't say it.
It
like
took me
that.
a second. I got
Yeah,
there.
Cherryville. All
Plumtree doesn't have any plum trees in it. Go away. Go away.
Okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Not go away.
right. Nope, he said it. You have to go away now.
Felt like a
Freudian
dog
slip.
whistle.
Freudian
Yeah.
slip.
Yeah,
A Freudian dog whistle.
Oh, shit.
Hey, what's that symbol on your necklace, Jonathan?
No, it's Levi's. Goddamn.
Did you not bring your hood with you, Jonathan? Where's it
my
at?
gosh.
It's a
Oh, that's so
hoodie.
funny.
How many times do I
Hoodie.
have to tell
Sorry,
you?
hoodie.
It's
That's
a
right.
hoodie.
I totally. Sorry.
It's a little pointier than I wish it
Yeah.
was.
There's a bit in there, man. That's
Yeah.
really funny. Did you bring your hood? It's
Hoodie.
a hoodie, man. It's a hoodie. Hang on.
I said it first. I
Yeah.
claim it. I get to try it first. If I suck at it, you guys can have it.
All right.
Well, there's a good shot that we're gonna have a
Yeah.
take on it.
That's fun.
Oh man.
Cruelty free.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, look. Speaking of, I guess, anti-cruelty free.
Speaking of anti-cruelty
We
free,
have actually had someone call in / email the podcast. It finally happened. We have
Yeah.
a listener that
We
cared
did it.
enough to want to talk to us.
You
And, her name is Hillary. She's a local comedian here in
Comedian.
Charlotte.
comedian, improviser,
Improviser.
all of
Yes.
both.
And I actually, and I actually want to talk about that. So last Friday,
Hillary Staple.
Hillary Staple. Hillary, we know you're listening. We hope you're listening. You listen often, that you tell us. And so I went to, she's part of Shameless Society Improvisers. I think they're just called Shameless Society, but it's an improv group. I can say this, outside of seeing, like, I saw Flo from Progressive, went to like an improv festival, which was like insane. This is the best improv show I think I've ever seen.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. I heard they do numbers too.
It's fantastic.
Like,
Shameless
numbers,
Society.
like
as
a
in-
fan base. Like they bring out
They,
people.
like, bring people?
They bring people
Nice.
out to them shows.
This
yeah.
was at
That's
Lenny
sick.
Boy, right? So we've all performed at Lenny Boy,
Right.
Yes.
and I love that they have so much comedy there. The audio's often a little bit of an issue there, or
Little
whatever.
iffy.
So they
Right.
just did like no mics.
Damn.
Right? And for all these people, dude, it was one of the funniest, most exciting shows I've ever seen, because they do this thing where there's like timers, and like, so they have to get these. It was thrilling, and this was Hillary's first time she just got included in the team. They just invited her to be a part of the team.
Wow.
And she crushed. There's just so many
That's awesome.
funny
She's
people.
a delightful person.
She
Yeah.
is. She really is.
She's just one of those like smart, funny. She's so quick.
Total package.
Total package. She's so funny. So Hillary's really like, we love her. Like I said, she's a fan of the show, and she sent in she tried to call in, but if you've tried to call in, you realize that
We
the
need to
number-
revamp that number.
Yeah, that's on me. That's on
No,
me.
it's fine. You just have to like use it every now and again. Or
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
you get rid of it. Yeah.
So
Jason
if-
ran out of anytime minutes. Because of course he still
Nights and
has
weekends.
those somehow.
Call us on nights and
Yeah.
weekends.
all right, so I don't.
10 cents a minute. MCI. Remember that?
I do.
5 cents.
So we
Whatever.
brought her up, and she was like, "Yeah, thanks for the shout out." This was a couple weeks ago, and then she wrote that she was going to leave us a message. So instead, she kind of sent it to the Zoning Out podcast on Instagram. So I got this message. She wrote, "Thank you for being such positive forces within the scene." She said, "When I first started pre-COVID, there were fewer women involved, and those of us trying all had multiple stories of disrespect and general toxicity." She said, "From the first time I met each of you, you stood apart and were easy to root for. You respect the craft and your fellow comedians. I have mushy stories about each of you that I'll save for next time I see you all. But just wanted to send my gratitude. And also, I have a million questions, but since I'm still making my way through the podcast, I'm moving backwards," she said. "If you've already answered them, just disregard." She said, here's her questions. How did each of you get started in comedy? If you weren't doing comedy, what would you be doing? What's your writing process? She said, "I'm aware these are very basic fangirl questions. And
They
I'm
are
not
basic
sorry."
fangirl questions,
Yeah.
but we love you, Hillary.
Yeah. So you guys want to tackle these, right?
Sure.
For,
Yeah.
for Hillary, because she's awesome. How did each of you get started in comedy? Let's start there.
I was on my lunch break in Winston-Salem. And
This is true, isn't it?
yeah,
This is
yeah,
kinda
I've
awesome.
actually have
I
told the
love- that's a
story
great
couple times.
opening.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't really listen. When you,
Vaguely remember.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You
True,
don't.
he doesn't.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, no, I was on my lunch break in Winston-Salem, and there was like a sign outside this bar.
I do. You did.
Yeah,
that too.
called Bull's Tavern, which actually isn't there anymore, unfortunately.
Ah,
but it
bummer.
just said like open mic comedy on Thursdays. I was kind of, it was like near the beginning of the year, so I was already kind of looking for something like to do, like get out of my comfort zone like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to push myself, right? So I
That sounds like you. I'm being that sincerely.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, I
It
could.
does, yeah.
Yeah, so I came up with something, memorized it. Came back like 2 weeks later, invited
Wow.
people. That was a mistake,
Huge mistake.
rookie mistake.
Invited people.
Because when it's your first
So
time
many
doing
people do
comedy,
that. So
they're going to show up. Like it's not like the rest of your career. Like the first
Yeah.
time you invite them, they're coming.
They're gonna laugh real hard no matter what for the first minute.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But that was my first time, and so I did 7 minutes.
Jeez.
I don't know
That's
if
a
they,
lot for a mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I don't know if they gave me a light and I didn't realize it was, or maybe I just didn't realize what it was,
Yeah.
or if they just didn't like me. Like I have no idea at this point. But like, shout out to Zoe Myers.
Oh, wait,
Zoe
how
was the
much were
host.
you
Oh,
supposed to do?
Zoe Myers was the host?
Yeah.
Oh, man. If
Zoe
y'all
was the
don't know
host.
Zoe Myers, check him out. He's like so crazy and funny.
Well, so here's the thing, and I could say this
Were you
as
not
someone,
supposed to do 7 minutes? Is that what you're saying?
I have no idea. Because as
don't know.
someone who's like hosted an open mic, I never really go around telling each person like, okay, you got 5 minutes, right? Like
Yeah,
you just
right.
don't do that. You
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
get to the point where you just assume people
Right.
know.
Yeah.
So
That's really funny.
yeah, so I did 7 minutes, man, and that's how I got into it. And I just
Well,
my sign to keep going was that I didn't forget anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I
that's
had the
good.
whole 7 minutes. I had no notes. Like it wasn't funny.
Did you get?
I was gonna say,
But-
what was the
Did
reaction?
you get laughs?
Yeah,
Like
did you get
what?
laughs?
Not the good ones.
What do you mean?
You get
I
the
think I know what
supportive, like,
doesn't.
oh,
You got
oh, that was
supportive
supposed to be
laugh. Shut the
funny.
fuck
Ha,
up,
ha,
He
ha,
does-
like
he
that
does-
type of.
he doesn't
Fuck
know.
off, Jason.
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
the
Fuck
difference.
off. But
He doesn't know the difference. He gets supportive laughs. That's Jonathan's set.
just polite.
Just
polite
like
laugh.
he's trying. Look
He's
at him.
doing so good.
You did
Look
the
at him
whole-
up there.
you did the whole time.
He's dressed. He has clothes on.
All right. What's your first time?
I was just doing real bad, like
Just in life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
It was like maybe the darkest period. Certainly, I've had my share, but I was doing real bad, and I was unemployed. I was here in Charlotte, not having planned to move to Charlotte, emergency plans, and just like things were just not good. And I was like, I got to do something. and I always loved comedy. I watched it since I was a kid. We used to watch the Comedy Central Presents and all that.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
after
yeah.
school
Uh-huh.
every day. But never really was like something I wondered. I was like, oh, I think maybe I could do that. I don't know, but I never really planned to. But then I was just like, screw it. Let's see. Let's see. So I just Googled comedy club.
No real catalyst. Just one day.
I don't know if there was it was just I need to fucking
You
do
need to do
something.
something.
I
Sure.
need to shake it up. I need to get out of this rut. I need to.
weirdly similar, to be honest, to Jordan a little bit.
I would. If you add like several layers of desperation to it,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was. I mean, I'm joking around. It was fucking dark.
Yeah.
It was a dark period. And I didn't have health insurance, so a therapist was not an option. And so I just Googled Comedy Club Charlotte, and Comedy Zone came out. I just moved here. I didn't really, fairly recently moved here, and I didn't know anything about like the structures of comedy, how it all works. And just clicked around, found there was an open mic, signed up for it, and then got an email from Debbie Millwater. Shout out
to Debbie.
saying
Debbie.
it was like a bringer show, I guess was the idea with their mic.
Sure.
And so I was supposed to bring 5 people, and I didn't know 5 people, like period.
Yeah,
Like, and so I just kind of, and like a few days before I emailed her, I was like, I don't have friends. Like, I was like, there's just I can't.
That was bottom, wasn't it? That was bottom for you.
You'd think.
Just
You'd think. You'd wish.
Yeah.
You'd wish that was
Yeah.
it. But it wasn't great. But she was just like, it's fine. Come on anyway.
Yeah.
And it did. And so I came, and it was 3 minutes as the
new people got
that?
3, right?
New people got
Yeah.
3. Yeah. And I did 2.
Nice. Kill them in 2 before you die in
No.
3?
No. I died in 2 before I burned in hell in 3.
Okay.
Is
All
what I
right,
did. And 2 I don't think I got 1 laugh.
Wow.
It was brutal.
Well, you didn't bring anybody. so-
Yeah, I didn't bring anybody. That's true. And I left, and I was just like, this is the word. I'm nothing. Like
Yeah.
I hate this so much. And then I just try, but then I was at one point I was just like, fuck it, I'll try it again.
Wow.
And so I went back and did it.
How
again.
long? How long is this time between?
That's a great question. I'm not. I'd say probably about as like short as you're allowed to, or like a month, maybe month,
Okay.
2 months. I don't know. And in my perception, then I'm sure if I went back and watched the tape now, I'd have a different opinion. But in my perception, then I like murdered the second time.
Yeah.
I was
Oh, wow.
like, oh my god, I'm the best comedian on the planet. You know,
That
like-
sounds about right.
like-
That sounds about right.
and so I was like, all right, I guess I'm doing this then.
Yeah.
And mixed bag ever since.
Wow.
All right.
No, it was really interesting to hear. Like, I had to kind of laugh hearing how you got off stage and felt the first time, because surprisingly, I was the complete opposite. I
Really?
was so cocky. I was uncharacteristically
I was cocky after the second time.
Yeah?
For sure.
Yeah, I was so cocky. It was like, oh my gosh. I think I tried to give another comedian advice.
No!
Yes.
That's awesome.
I'm so sorry. And I
that
appreciate
that
Ugh.
hurt to hear.
Yeah.
I know. It was
It
so,
doesn't sound like you at
it-
all.
My
so
toe
much
hurts.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
Like, I'm so embarrassed to think about it.
That's
But,
so
like,
funny.
But then I got
what you got to do.
Yeah, kinda.
Holy
Kinda.
shit. Listen, now in comedy, that's what
it
you're
was
doing.
so I can't believe myself. And then, but I
I
will
want
say,
to know what you said so bad.
no, I just know whatever I said, I tried to like tie it to Jay-Z. Like, I tried to say, I loosely compared
Like,
myself
listen,
to Jay-Z.
Listen. When I was running the towers in Brooklyn,
Man, but then I got home that night and watched my setback and immediately knew. Oh no, I was not.
really?
Yeah,
you're like, oh, I got to go find that person
and
and tell them that my advice was bad.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so funny.
It does seem like it's one or the other, right? Either you eat shit and you're just like, oh no, I'll never do this, or you're like, I got to figure
Yeah,
it out,
I did both
or
of
you're
them.
like amazing and you're just like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life because I'm amazing.
I got
It's
both
like,
of them. Both of them back to back.
You did.
What about you, Jason?
Yeah, I did it because I wanted to be a better screenwriter. I wanted to tell better jokes
right.
in screenwriting. That was my thing. So my girlfriend at the time, Lauren, signed us up for, I didn't know, like, I was like, I think they do a class. She looked it up, so we both took the class together. And
At the Comedy Zone.
At the Comedy Zone, right. Yeah, it was a couple weeks in. I think it was after the second week, it was like, you should start doing mics. So we did. We went to a mic. We actually went to the Comedy Zone that was in Fort Mill, which doesn't exist anymore. Did you guys ever know that one?
I know.
I knew it
That's-
existed, but
Yeah.
I think it did exist at some point while I was doing comedy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
When did it close?
Maybe. It's at this point, time means
I could be
nothing
wrong.
to me. But
Because I moved here like early 2017. Was it still open around then?
oh man, is that when you were doing comedy, right?
Yeah.
2017. Boy, that's
I
a
think
long time ago. It had to be open.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Because I think I remember someone saying something about going to do something there. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it was a kind of a great room. I do wish it was still open. But yeah, first time there, it was funny. I met like Todd Riley. I met Clint Knorr.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Clint.
Miss that
I
guy.
by the way, I wore his shirt to the gym the other
His
day.
cat,
the cat walking.
Are you
the
walking
cat
a
thing.
cat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This other guy had a cat shirt on, so I got to tell him all about Clint Knorr.
Aw.
But yeah, first time it was okay. I remember being it was okay, and
Was
and
that your feeling? What was your feeling?
It was
It was like, all right, I'll do that again.
It was we did it.
We did it. Okay.
I was like, that was number one. It's like, gotta get up, gotta just do it. Because doing it in class isn't really
It's
the
different.
same thing.
Sure, totally.
And I was like, okay, cool. This is fun. I also did feel like, and this maybe is a little bit of a flex, maybe a little cocky. I was like, I think I'm kind of doing better than the average person in class.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
there was something to that.
Yeah.
And that was like, it was the next week we had started doing mic. That became like a regular. We would start to do mics and shit. And I was like, oh, okay, it's
You
the
and
same
Lauren?
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the same feeling that a lot of people who do my class that go out are just kind of like, oh, I'm putting more work into my set than any of these other people are.
Right,
Which I think is a real thing.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even like it's not necessarily a rip on like people who are going to open mics a lot, but it's like these are people who have a focused thing. They've got a show in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
They got a timeline, so they're feeling really pressured to do it.
And
so
you
they're
don't see
focused.
them walk up there, and you don't see that look on their face like, oh shit, I probably should have had something to say. You know that
Yeah.
thing that you see happen at Mike's when you're just like you see someone who
What
Drives me
else?
insane.
you know
Yes,
you
drives me
instantly
insane.
know that
Yeah.
they walked in thinking that they were so funny that they could just walk up there and talk and,
Yeah.
and brilliance would come out, and then you see that realization drain from their
Yeah,
eyes.
pretty wild, right?
It's so palpable. You can tell it so clearly.
Somebody said it, and this may have just been in passing, or maybe it was someone famous. I can't remember. But if you were like sitting in the front row, right, front row to where the person performing is 4 feet, maybe
Yeah.
3.5 feet,
Right.
and it's about 6 to 12 inches higher than where you're at. The difference between sitting there and being on that stage is light years
Yeah.
apart. It's not even the same
not the
friggin'
same
universe.
world. Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
not. So yeah, that was my thing. All right, so let's get quick to the
Well,
next
hold on,
question.
so I
Oh,
do
go
have a
ahead.
question for you then. Did you, because you got into it to be a better screenwriter,
Yeah.
as far as like comedic screenwriting.
You know what the fuck happened?
Did
with
you
that?
ever, did you ever like see yourself going into the professional stand-up direction?
That's not at all why I took the class. It was there's a
Was
story
that not
I've-
even a thought? That wasn't even a possibility in your mind?
not before the class.
Okay.
It was when
Interesting.
I got on stage. So once I was doing the George and Monty series, right? With
Right.
Jordan, you're actually going to be in the feature that's coming out hopefully
Yeah.
later this year.
Very cool.
That was the first time I'd really performed. I had done a couple things in college, like stage kind of stuff. When I've used that very loosely, by the way, but I didn't really perform
stripper.
before as as a stripper. Yeah,
Oh,
small pole. Small pole.
he used it loosely.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know if I like you talking about him that way. That's feel uncomfortable.
I also feel like that's the pot calling the kettle black.
I don't know what that means. What
I
was
just
the
like saying
question?
provocative stuff sometimes. Gets the people going.
Well, my whole point was
I'm
that
still trying to piece
I
together.
figured out I enjoyed the performing,
Yeah.
which is not really something that I had ever
Yeah,
really
you
done.
Okay, I'm done. Maybe.
I was just
So-
saying, I feel like you have used it loosely also.
Oh, okay. I
There
got
it
you.
is.
Yeah.
There it
Yeah,
is.
you're not wrong.
Yeah, all right then.
So George and Monty, we started
Lots
doing
of
that, doing
kids.
more on camera stuff, and I was like kind of writing. John and I were writing together, and I was like, oh, I want this to be funnier. How do I make it funnier? Learn the anatomy. So I was like doing research on comedy and how to write jokes and things like that, and then took the class, and then that kind of leveled up a little bit. Like, oh, this is how you do it. Economy of words. Those are the things that I really. Those are the lessons that I've latched onto that I apply to all my writing now. It's like get rid of all the fluff.
Yep.
Exposition should be minimal and interesting. If those are all the things. So
In medias res.
Hmm?
You know, in the middle, start in the middle of the action. It don't matter.
Okay.
It's Latin. Y'all wouldn't know.
I wish we had a counter for how many times you cut off Jason in the show.
It's mainly why
It's a
I'm
lot.
here.
Yeah, it's a lot. So yeah, once I tell the story a lot. It's like it was about 3 weeks in to a 6-week class. We
Okay.
started doing open mics, and I was just really ramping up the writing process. And that's when I remember I had this conversation with Lauren. I was like, "This is a problem. I'm having so much fun I'm having so much fun performing and writing and doing. Like my focus was. I was also coming off of like doing Homeland and all these
Right.
big shows. I'm working
Yeah.
like 9-10 months, just killer hours.
all
I was
day,
a
every
nub.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just ruined, and the shows were over, and there's other things going to involve, and I was not disenfranchised, but I was definitely like, I don't know if I could keep that up, kind of a thing. So I was looking for something else, maybe, and that's where stand up came in. I was like, wanting to do my own shit. Yeah, 3 weeks in, I was like, if we keep this up, this is really going to be a problem. And I said, and after the class, I said, 6 months, if I'm still living the way I've been living the last 6 weeks,
Then I'm locked in.
I'm probably going to keep trying to do this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Within 6 months, I won one of the competitions and was hosting at the Comedy Zone.
Right.
Nice.
Which is
Right.
really kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's not lost on me that doesn't really happen. So I don't.
I think
Because I was older. I was
both of
in-
us did that too.
We
Well,
didn't win,
we didn't
but we
win.
made
It
it to
came
the
in
finals.
second.
Yeah.
I came in
Yeah.
second 3 times. It's frustrating.
Really? Well, I was like, I wasn't 21. I was in my 30s
Right.
when I started. So I'm
You
like,
had life experience under your belt.
That's
you
right.
had something to talk about.
Yeah, I think
You
so.
know?
And I also didn't approach it like a lot of, you see out
Yeah,
there where
right,
they're just
exactly.
sort of, I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to change my life. Like,
Yeah.
it's got to be real. It's got to be professional. Like, I mean, I used to wear jackets and shit on stage, like blazers and shit. Like, that was like when I got shot, like, I did that. Not knowing any better, I guess I would say. I'm not sure that really fit kind of who I am, but it was definitely, you know, I'll say this. If I didn't start getting work at the Comedy Zone and working professionally, if I just had to do the open mic thing for a while, probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like if you do it for a year and literally all you've done is open mics and you do it fairly consistently and
Dude,
all
I
you're
don't
doing
think I'm saying this not to like say anything like counter to what you're saying. I think most people don't do anything for a year plus and do professional club shows. I think that's fairly uncommon, actually.
I think he's kind of talking about that middle ground where you go on like the Corrado shows.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
gotcha,
get paid. You get
Yeah.
paid $20-$30
If
bucks.
you, but if you
Yeah.
go like a year straight and like really all you've done
only
is open
doing
mics.
open
Okay,
mics,
that's fair. Yeah,
you
yeah,
should
yeah.
probably.
Yeah, it was, you know, they were telling us, like, you're not going to get professional gigs for a couple of years, probably.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to dick around with this for
Yeah,
a couple of
that's
years. I
that's
felt
a
a
long
lot.
time.
So for me, it was like 6 months. I was like, okay, I also had like, you know, the guys who taught the class kind of pulled me aside at one point. We're just kind of like, hey, you've got an aptitude for this. You
Right.
maybe want to consider doing it.
Right,
You know,
right.
that kind of thing. So that happened.
My maybe one of my worst moments doing comedy was the first time I hosted at the Comedy Zone.
Oh, shit, really?
It was for Sean Jones, and I just ate it
Yeah.
so hard.
We've seen it.
Yeah. What do you think kind of contributed to that? Did you did you point at somebody in the audience and say, "Man, look at that boy's shoes right there, man. Those
that's what I
shoes
did.
creased up right there,
Look at
boy."
this two shoes ass wearing ass motherfucker.
Oh, shit. That's right. That's his joke.
I did not.
Oh, ouch.
Sometimes I wonder if you're doing an impression of a black person or doing an impression of Wolfgang doing an impression.
It's
of
mostly
everybody.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly that.
If you weren't doing comedy, what would you be doing?
Two shoes ass wearing ass motherfucker.
Oh man. Dude, honestly, I don't know if I would have another creative outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like my life would just kind of be like just the other things I'm doing, like just like running.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
running
yeah.
and work. Like that'd probably just
Sure.
be it. And then just like, I don't know, hanging out with friends.
There's no other creative outlet that you see as of right now. that's
Yeah,
something you
I
would be
couldn't
doing.
imagine myself like being a painter or you know what I'm saying. I mean,
Sure.
like no respect, like all those are very valid creative outlets.
Yeah.
Nothing
never
like that
inspired you.
Yeah,
Jonathan, what do you have?
Well, it's funny. I'm just kind of thinking about that right now. At no point in my life since I started playing guitar, at no point in my life have I not wanted to in some way do art professionally.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, I don't know if I've quite put that together till right now. Actually, like I wanted to be a musician for years, and I got like pretty good, but that stopped feeling right, and then I went to school did Master of Fine Arts, an MFA program in
Yes, to
writing.
say it like that.
Wrote a novel that exists on a Google Drive, and
Some people have read it.
and that I know at least one person who has read it. My thesis advisor. And then that's still there. It's still something they don't expire. It's still
Yeah.
lying around somewhere. Sure. But then comedy's the one that really has like, I think I have an aptitude for the other two things I tried to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm bad at them, but this is the one where I've gotten the right kind of confirmation at the right time.
And there's a practicality.
There's a
to
practicality to it.
practical-
Yeah, like doing
Yeah.
like music is fucking tough.
Yeah.
Like just equipment.
yeah,
Just that
Yeah.
alone is
Yeah.
like the amount of even if you're a solo art, even if you're just playing guitar, you have to have your guitar, you have to have your mic, you have to have your tuner, you have to have your PA system probably, you have to have like amps and all kinds of shit. And And then
The thing about being a writer, because I think, if you're a stand-up comic, you're a writer. I say that with, there's a whole bunch of caveats to it, but
you are, you quite literally are writing.
Yeah, you're writing, right? And it's like, it's a pencil. It's Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan, where your kid wants to bring the typewriter, and he's like, holds up the pencil. He's like, this is it. This is our overhead.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Right. All we need is a mic.
So the practical sort of nature of it.
And I didn't get the right. I got a lot of confirmation, or like a lot of encouragement about my writing and stuff like that. But I sent it to an agent who liked it and said, "Give me a revision." And I was like, "Great." And so I worked on a revision, and then my life exploded. I got divorced and all that.
Yeah.
And so that kind of went on the back burner. And I picked it back up again later, but yeah, comedy's just the one, right, where it's just like the right things have happened at the right time. Like you said, it's easy. You can show up and walk on stage. You don't need a guitar.
You know if you're good.
Yeah.
For the most part.
And and
or you can, because I've seen this, myself and like literally me, but it's like I've seen people progress where I'm like, I don't know if they got it. And then you see them 6 months later and you're like, oh shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty great. Like good work,
you do. You get instant feedback. That's the nice thing about comedy.
Yeah.
Is it's like they're laughing or they're not. Of course we all talk about how there's different audiences, sometimes different things.
It's motivating.
But at the end of the day, like the basic thing of it is you find out whether people liked watching you that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes you can put blinders on and you feel better than what it was and all that kind of shit.
Or the other way,
or
also.
vice versa. For me, I've been working in. It's funny saying it, but it's still true. But I've been working in entertainment since I'm 25, 26 maybe. Like when I moved down here, so I had one brief career, and I got into this, and that's probably will do both forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's my. What's the other thing I'd be doing? It's still mostly creative. There's some parts of it that are not creative, but yeah.
I have half a mind to start recording some music.
Well, you should.
Yeah.
That's support.
I've been like
within
I've been like
second
writing.
and a half,
I've been
you got
writing
that.
some songs and like which I used to do and then didn't do and then am doing, and I've been like playing them and I'm having a lot of fun.
Eddie Murphy had a music career.
Donald Glover. That's Childish Gambino, who I always think of. I'm like, oh, comedy and music. Nice.
There you go.
I don't
deserve
know.
it all.
I deserve it all. 6 miles a day, condition in my wind, baby.
Are you really doing 6 miles a day now?
I take breaks in between, but yeah, my runs are usually six to seven. Sometimes I did an 11-mile run the other week.
Nice, man.
What I don't want to leave Hillary's last question unanswered.
Yeah, let's do it.
Writing process.
I write down notes on my phone and I work it out on stage.
Yeah.
I really I feel like maybe every time I've tried to sit down and just write a joke out in paragraph form and stuff, it just says no, thank you.
Yeah.
It just doesn't want to play. It doesn't want to play that game with me.
Which is weird because you're a sit-down writer.
It is weird. It does. You wouldn't think so. You'd think that.
Do they ever think that maybe is the problem
Do you,
with your comedy?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just asking.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan, I need more from you, man. Gotta back me up.
I mean, listen, if you don't understand, there's a problem by now.
There it is.
just let me have my fun.
There it is.
Like you and Kanye should just have an interview together.
I'll just.
I find it very. That's very interesting to me.
I agree. I don't really get it.
Yeah.
I think you know what I think maybe part of it is I got so fucking sick of sitting down and writing things. I think that might be kind of it. Like
so do you know what the punchline is and you just work your way to it? Is it that kind of thing?
Kinda. It's a mystery, man. I'm not really sure how I do it.
All right.
I just kind of I am careful about the phrasing I do it in here. I do it in my brain mostly. Like so it's never precise exactly what I'm going to say, but I've put thought into it. And
you've done it enough now where you've got your 40 minutes of what you know.
Oh yeah.
And then the other 15 minutes is like you.
So it's okay. So it kind of is a bit luxury is maybe a silly way to put it, but I have enough built around it that I can try something a little half baked in the middle, and it's not the end of the world if it doesn't crush.
Okay.
So
All right. I find that
Maybe
interesting.
I'll actually write a joke someday. I don't know.
Yeah. I know a lot of audience that really wish
Yeah.
that you would do that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily do the same thing every time, but like I always start off by doing free writing. So I like set a timer for 10 minutes and I'll just write for 10 minutes straight, like whatever it is that comes to mind. Like I'm not worried about punctuation or spelling,
Yeah.
whatever. Just write 10 minutes straight and then read through that and circle the ideas that I find interesting. And then that's what I take as like the building block from a joke. And
That's
then
amazing.
I'll do other things from there, right? Like I'll try to do maybe a word association from there, right? So I try to come up
Yeah.
with like 30 words or phrases that's associated with this thing.
What are the things that everyone would think about when you say this word? Then it becomes accessible, right?
So
in my
there's
brain.
that, and then also there's another thing where you kind of make like a mind map, right? So like
Yeah.
you kind of build these circles out to where you're getting away from like the most obvious thing.
Nerd.
That's
No,
how
it's
I-
great. No, it's great.
It's not dissimilar, but to
Yeah.
Like in all sincerity, I should maybe do some shit like this.
Yeah, that's right. And again, I don't necessarily go through like all these exercises every time for every joke,
Yeah.
but the one that I always do is the free writing thing.
Yeah,
that's
that's
how
great.
I always start.
Yeah. My process is, I am well aware, my process is very inefficient. Like that,
But if it works
but
for you,
also
I don't know.
efficiency is just not.
Yeah.
It's not something. I'm just not an efficient. I'm not efficient in life. I don't in my work in anything. I'm just not efficient.
It's everything in my power not to just jump into that.
I mean, that's fine.
But I get it. But
that's
I get what
fine.
you're
But
saying.
it's just me. I'm just
Yeah.
that way. Like I am much slower to build up bookings. I just do shit slow.
Yeah, I am
You know?
with you on that because
Yeah.
I probably land more toward you, Jordan, in my writing process, and that is, but it's similar to yours. It's like I'm sending myself text messages.
Yeah.
Then I take those text messages and I
Right.
put them, into a Word doc where I'm like, all right, let's work these ideas out.
Right.
And a lot of it is a little bit of free writing, a little bit of like just write a paragraph about this thing.
Yeah.
That's something that I do quite a bit,
Yeah.
right? So like, what would be a narrative around it or something? You just kind of write it out, and then I don't circle them, but I'm like, what's the funny stuff? Right?
Yeah,
So
right, yeah, sure.
I might end up writing 10 or 12 jokes about something, try them out. I mean, like, I don't care. Read it on stage, whatever it is. And I may end up getting 3 laughs out of it. So then that joke is 3 laughs. And I may try to build it up. I may try to just leave it what it is.
Yeah.
But I am a joke writer. No matter what, like I'm writing and I'm memorizing. Once I know the joke kind of works, then it's repetition.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
I'm gonna run that as many times as I can, because if I get a laugh just on the way that it's written on the page, I know that now that's the worst that joke's ever gonna do.
See, I'm so glad you said that because I'm kind of the same way, and I'm so pro bringing notes on stage when
Yeah.
you're working on a new joke. Like, a lot of people tell you like you should never bring notes on stage. I don't believe that at all.
Me neither.
Like
I
for
don't believe
me,
it either.
that's kind of like for my process, because I heard a while back Chris Rock kind of talked about his process.
Yep.
And he said when he first delivers a joke, he delivers it without any of
That's right.
the Chris Rock energy.
I use that same reference, by the
So
way.
yeah. So like it's the same way. It's like, all right, if I'm just reading the joke and it works, I know it's funny. And
It's
so
gonna be
now
great.
we add everything else, and now that's how it's going to go from good to great. So
Because then it becomes the writing is stands on its own.
Yes.
Now you're going to add my
Yes.
performance to it, and that joke's going to hopefully then sort of accelerate and multiply, whatever. For me, I get that some people can't or don't do that for whatever their reasoning is, but I don't think I'm a good off the cuff ranter. Like I have to do crowd work, and like I can be in the moment.
That's how I write a joke. I
Yeah.
fuck around with it, and I
Yeah.
stumble around in it, and I play in the mud, and
yeah.
I don't know.
My second half of this is like I is learn the joke so well that you become free with it. You allow new ideas to come in. Once I know that joke works and I can just do it in my sleep, suddenly then I can just be loose about it. New tags show up, new angles show up. I still have jokes that I've been doing for years where 3-4 different tags have been added to it over the last 2 years, where I'm like, now the joke's a much bigger sort of chunk, which is fun.
Do you know that like there's this like this is so annoying, but I'm going to say it anyway. There's like Western and Eastern ideologies of like what something what a building is, right? So like in Western cult, like in you go to Rome and you see all the ruins, right? And they say that's preserving a building, is preserving it as it is. It will go to ruins. That's okay, but we're preserving what it is. In Eastern cultures, it's much more common to maintain, and so like.
So it evolves then.
So right, so you'll see a building that's totally intact, totally fine, but eventually none of the original bricks are even there.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's still but to them they have preserved it. That's part of the philosophy of what it means to preserve something. I think that's happens with jokes a lot. I'll speak for myself at least. Is like I have this joke I do, and if I look back at the first time I told the joke and what the joke is now, I'm like, oh, those aren't even the same words.
Yeah.
Like this is, it's not the same
interesting.
idea. I'm not trying to get at the same concept.
Right.
I'm not saying it's still the same joke,
Yeah.
quote unquote, but it's actually like has nothing in common with the original.
That's interesting. I bet I can't think of one right now.
I
but
bet we all
I
have
bet
those.
that's like has been a thing.
Yeah, there are some jokes I do where I think about when I did it. I'm like, oh, I'm not even getting at the same idea that I was
Yeah,
the
right.
first time that I did it.
How do you feel about using people's suggestions and tags and jokes? You come off stage and it's like, oh man, I got a great tag for you. That happens somewhat regularly.
I'll take it if it's someone if it's someone who knows me. Like
Yeah.
I'm a little hesitant. Like I'm not going to tell someone to go fuck themselves, but like if some random ass person is just like,
Fuck, man.
here's a thought, I'm just
If it's a good idea,
I'm
gonna take
just
that
like
shit.
that. I'll listen to anybody.
well, if it happens to be a good idea, great, but like it's usually not. Like, it's
How about this? So this happened actually at the Loft, by the way, when we did the Loft show.
Yeah.
I do this joke about like the Pringles. You know the Pringles?
Oh, Athena.
Do this joke about Pringles, right? About the guy who invented it or whatever. And he said when he wanted to be buried in a Pringles can.
Just tell the bit. Just do it.
But I've never thought about this before. And someone's yelled out what I thought they were saying, which hand? And I was like, why does that matter? They're like, no, which can? And the guy sitting next to him was at barbecue. And I was like, Jesus Christ. So now I started doing this joke where I'm like, it was definitely a bar. It is crushing. This joke, I've done it like 3 times since then or whatever. And it's popping big. And I'm like, all right, that's a guy in a crowd gave me that.
yeah. No, I've had the same thing happen.
I'd be more likely to listen to a heckle than I would to someone like I'm not gonna not listen, but I guess all I'm really saying, you said
You're just saying your ego is getting in the way of your comedy.
Sure. You said how do you feel? You said how do you feel about people giving like? I feel a little bit like
I didn't ask the question right, George.
feel
yeah,
like-
clearly, yeah. Jonathan, can I ask you something?
I fucking hate it here.
Jonathan, have you ever had like
No, in that tone, no. You can't ask me something.
no? Because you just made me think of something. Because I was
Can
wondering
I
this.
ask you something? No.
No, because I was really wondering this the other day. Like,
Right.
have you ever had like a platonic relationship with an attractive woman?
My God.
Why
What?
are we?
Where did
why
this
are
come
we-
from?
No,
George?
because I was thinking about that. I was like, because I've heard you like tell stories or just kind of hanging out with you in general. I can't think of a woman like that was
This is-
conventionally attractive that like you didn't have intentions of like seeing where it goes.
Why are you? What made you think
Where
of
did
that?
this come
Because I
from?
said Athena.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's fair.
Probably.
That's not good enough.
Probably at some point.
Of all the things you could have said, that didn't feel good.
Probably.
That didn't feel good at all. Men and women can be friends, right?
They
Yeah.
can. I just don't think you have. Okay. I think you probably have friendships with attractive women. I just don't think they've ever started that way.
Jordan.
It might be true.
So great. There it is. There you have it.
No, I'll get back to you.
Okay. All right.
Jesus. Well, Hillary, I hope we went off a little tangent there at the end, but I think we answered your questions. By the way, follow Hillary Staple and remind me, I said the name before and I'm forgetting. Shameless Society.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's it. Shameless
I don't know.
Society.
I think that's it. I think
They're
it's
performing,
Shameless
I think,
Society.
October 11th. That might be FemProv, but check them out just online and go follow them, and also follow these guys.
Yeah, and if you have any more questions for the podcast, make
Yeah.
sure you reach out to us on the Instagram at podcastzoningout@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We'll have a phone number for you at some point.
I'll figure it out.
I mean, if you're conventionally attractive, you can always call Jonathan. I'm sure he's open.
Probably check in with me.
With Mr. Williams comedy, right? That's how he introduces himself.
That is how he introduces himself. That is true. We confirmed that part.
Yeah, pretty
for
much.
sure. All right, and I'm Jordan Century, and this is King Jason Allen.
That's right.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in to this episode. We will be back next week with some more hot takes. Maybe Kanye will have on a red outfit next week. Jason will confirm whether or not that's a part of the rotation. I know y'all were wondering. Other than that, y'all stay safe.
My reputation is fucked.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.